Hello, good morning to you and welcome to a little bit of Sunday morning sewing on Sewing Street. My name's Debbie Shaw and I'm going to be with you live for the next 4 hours, and I'm going to be joined by Rachel. In this show we're going to be looking at dressmaking, and then later on, look, is it a Rosie Rabbit? So that's coming up later on, so that's just a bit of a tease. Now if you want to get in touch with us, come and say hello. Go to our Facebook page. I'm there. I'm on my phone. I'm waiting for you. Have we got everybody? We've got everybody this morning. We've got Angie. We've got Leah. We've got Alan. We've got Dawn. Dawn's always there. We've got Dawn. We've got Kirsty. We've got Pat. We've got Pam. Have we got Morag? Have you been up all night? Come and let me know. Or you can drop us an email if you wish, which is studio@sewingstreet.com. So we like to get a little bit interactive on a Sunday morning. So come and say hello or show some pictures of what you've been making. And of course, if you've got any questions, come and ask those as well. Rachel's going to be showing us invisible zips and tailor's tacks. So stay with us if you want a little bit of demystifying jargon. That didn't make any sense at all, did it? It happens a lot on a Sunday morning, to be honest. We're going to call it Silly Sunday. Silly Sunday on Sewing Street. Now then, because you are here nice and bright and early in the morning with us, we're going to give you a special offer. We've got a fat quarter pack. So this is a reduced price item that we keep reduced as long as we have the stock or until we sell out. And I think this is going to go really quickly. So for £6.99, you've got 4 fat quarters, which equates to a whole metre of fabric in really gorgeous colours. Ditzy flowers. I'll open one of these out in just a second and show you. Now the idea is there is method in our madness with early birds. A lot of postage, isn't it? £3.95 when you're only spending £6.99. However, that's the only postage you're going to pay for the whole day. So get this in your basket, go through to checkout, pay for it, or you can order on the phones, of course, as well. And then if you come back later on and you want to buy a sewing machine or a dress pattern or fabrics or anything off the website or anything off Jewellery Maker's website, we're not going to charge you any extra postage. That's for the whole day. So a little bit of Sunday morning shopping. You can order on the website, which is sewingstreet.com, or on the phone lines, which is 0800 001 4433. Look at these, though. Under £2 for a fat quarter. I'll show you how big they are. If you weren't aware, I can remember the first time I heard the phrase fat quarter and I was quite insane. How dare you? That's what a fat quarter looks like. So you have a quarter of a metre of fabric, but it's cut off the roll that way rather than a quarter of a metre, which would be a long skinny strip. Look at the colours of these though. Loads of detail in this. So we've got the veins in the leaves, you've got a really nice combination of purples and greens. It looks quite tropical, doesn't it? And I love the black in the background as well. Really makes all of the other colours pop. Then we have little ditsies. There we go. And they go beautifully together. That's the nice thing about buying pre-cut fabric bundles like this. You know that everything's going to match. That is lovely. Oh, our little rabbit could have a posh evening dress out of that one. And then we've got this one as well. And lots of colours to mix these with too. So if you wanted to incorporate a plain fabric in your work as well, you've got the pale blues, yellows, purples, greens, different shades of greens, white in the background. So you've got a lot of choice there. So who have we got here this morning already? Are we there? Oh, morning Dawn. I told her she's always there. Looking forward to another fabulous Sunday show. Hi Sue, she's looking forward to the show as well. Hi Kirsty, morning, all present and correct. Lovely. Oh, morning Morag. Looking forward to a great morning. First, she's got a weekend off, Morag. You're not on call or anything. Oh, jolly good. So yeah, nice to hear from you all this morning. So do keep your comments coming through because you keep me going. To be honest, you keep me going. Right now then, if you like Tilda, I'm not going to say anything because I get into so much trouble. So I'm just going to say Tilda website. That's it. A lot of you have already looked. You've already spotted it. Well done. That didn't come from. I shall deny ever saying that. If you if you call my boss and say, "Oh, Debbie said about the tilde," I should say, "I never said that." I just tilde. It just came out. That's it. That woke you up, didn't it? Okay, £6.99 for 4 fat quarters. It's a saving of £1, but £1 is £1 after all. So again, if you want to order, 0800 001 4433 or sewingstreet.com is the way to go. Right, do you want to look at this frock? Now in the last hour, I don't know what to do. That's 11 o'clock, so I thought you might be able to give me some ideas. So, do you want to challenge Debbie? Oh, I so need a little sting for that, don't I? A little ditty. We have Moda fabrics. Now, we've got some end of lines coming up at 11 o'clock this morning. So there's low stocks of lots of fabrics that we probably won't be able to get back again. So I need some ideas. What should we sew? What should we do? So I've got fabrics, I've got my machine, I've got my threads, and I've got some H640. So let me know what you'd like to see. Right, and we've got some bag making coming up in the next hour as well. Hi Sandra, good morning. She says morning. Looking forward to today's show, lovely. It's a new Sunday routine. It's a good routine to be in, isn't it? Nice little bit of Sunday morning sewing. So yeah, welcome along. Sorry, was that Kay or Kate? Kate, hi Kate. Kate's looking forward to the show as well. Me too, I don't know what's going to happen. We're going to be featuring water skiing apparently in a bit. Yeah, no idea why. Look, she's so cute. This is coming up in the 10 o'clock show this morning, and it's actually from a book. So there's lots of other little projects in there as well. But Rachel's going to be giving you some hints and tips for toy making. Isn't she cute? Hello. Actually, she's asleep, isn't she? You're a windswept rabbit. She's really pretty. Right, okay, now we've got dress patterns, we've got fabrics coming up as well. I'll take you through that shortly, but I know you want to get on with the sewing. So let's give you a reminder of how you can order from us, and we'll meet Rachel in just a second.
Shopping with us couldn't be easier. If you want to shop online, then you can head to our website, www.sewingstreet.com. It will redirect you to our sister channel Jewellery Makers landing page. Don't worry, you haven't gone to the wrong place. We're simply using their website temporarily while we're building our own web shop. Scroll down past the Watch Live part and you'll see all of the products that you will have seen on air on today's live show. You can also shop our catalogue by clicking a category, clicking a product to view closer, and adding it to your basket. Once you're ready to check out, you will need to create an account, which is absolutely free to do so, but it will mean that you can check out on as many orders as you want throughout the day with still only paying one postage and packaging. If you'd prefer to speak to somebody in our UK-based customer service team, then you can do so via the free telephone line number 0800 001 4433. They will not only help you create an account, but will also help you with any of your online shopping.
So welcome back again, Mrs. A bit of dressmaking on a Sunday morning.
Indeed.
Yes.
Oh, were you speaking to me just
then? Speaking to you.
Good morning.
Talking to you.
Yeah, I was sorry about that, Debbie. You know me, engrossed in my sewing.
She's standing again. This is all a bit creased up.
I don't like creases.
I told you. She doesn't like creases, apparently. So, let me show you the pattern that Rachel's going to be making from, first of all. We've got a couple of sizes, but it's exactly the same pattern. So you can either go from 6 to 14 or 14 to 22, as you can see there. Isn't that pretty? So you've got different variations of the style. You can see the sleeves are slightly different. If you want to have a look at the sizes and fabric requirements, have a look on the website. So there should be a picture of the back of the pattern there as well. So you've got all the different styles there that you can use, and then you've got all of the measurements. Now do make sure that you measure yourself before you order your fabric, or you cut out your size, because they can kind of vary a lot. Don't rely on your dress size. Dress sizes cannot be trusted in dressmaking. So this is the 6 to 14. So 14 to 22 or 6 to 40 on your screen. Look, it's only £9.99. Okay, so as a difficulty level, first of all, Rachel.
I would say some experience required on this one. However, even if you're a beginner, like I said before, if you just do it really slowly, just take your time, and quite a lot with patterns, if you just stretch yourself with each pattern that you do, then you learn as you go along.
Yeah.
That's true, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
So, you know, so I'm going to show you how to do tailor tacks. On my last show, we were sort of saying, do you use pens or do you use tailor tacks? I'm very old-fashioned. I was taught by my mother, as you know, and she taught me how to tailor tack as I did at school in ancient times. So, and you just...
I remember those days we used to play with a hoop and stick in the playground.
Oh, well, I'm not quite that old.
Slate.
I'm not as old as that.
We're talking 1840,
yeah, well,
you know.
Yeah, 1840. Do you know, I remember, you know, when I used to take my little boys to school, and they saw a vintage car, and they said to me, "Did you used to ride around in cars like that, Mummy?" It's funny how they think, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll show you some tailor tacks. Okay, now on this pattern, you have got little circles. Okay, so with this pattern, as you can see, you've got gathering coming underneath the bust. So you need tailor tacks for that, which I will explain. And also there's tailor tacks when you come to the zip, which we will do as well.
Do you mind just dragging the mannequin over towards you a little bit, because we can't see it too.
So
Lovely.
is that better?
I think that's fine.
Yeah.
And just to mention, this is one of the fabrics that we have in a bundle for you. So the details on your screen there. There's 3 metres of fabric. It's a viscose mix and a bit of spandex in there, so it stretches, and there's elastic, and there's an invisible zip, and you've got hooks. Nice. Over to you, sorry.
Okay, not a problem at all. So you'll see you've got gathers under the bust, and you've also got gathers round the neckline. So you'll need the tailor tacks to see where you've got to gather from and to.
Okay.
Which will make sense in a second. You've got like a little sleeve here that you can make into like a little frill with elastic. Some people may prefer their sleeves a bit longer. This one is actually made to go 3/4. Okay. And then on the back of the dress, you will see you've got an invisible zip, and you've got the seam going across, and that's the tricky bit. Okay, so you've got to make sure that those seams actually meet up. All right. With this fabric, these are just a few little hints and tips. With this fabric, you do need an extremely sharp needle. So before you start sewing on it, I would suggest that you change your needle in your machine, either to a 70 or 80, but if 70 is probably better because it's finer. Okay. So I would certainly suggest that you do that. And with an invisible zip, it is exactly as it says. You cannot, well, you can see a line, obviously, but when the zip opens, it's actually quite invisible, and you can't see where it finishes. So I'm going to show you how to do that as well.
Fabulous. Do you want to say good morning to Gary and Simon?
Yes, Gary and as you know, my husband is Gary. Unfortunately, Gary's a little bit poorly at the moment, so he's in hospital, and he's opposite a really nice man as well. They're buddies. I expect they're telling dirty jokes or something like that.
Not in front of the nurse.
I know. He's had a bit of a stroke, but he's going to get better. He's starting to improve now, so I'm sure he'll appreciate all your best wishes for his speedy recovery. Yeah. So morning. I just want to say,
guys.
Morning, Gary. Love you loads, and see you home really soon. All right, I'll hoover up before you get home. All right. So on to the tailor's tacks. You will see that you've got circles, and these are all pointers, as they're as important as the notches. Remember the notches, Debbie?
Oh yes, I can't forget the notches.
So I thought we'd just mention notches a couple of times, and then we'll move on to tailor's tacks. So on each,
the notches.
Yeah, exactly. So if I just move the paper away, you will see where I've tailored. It's probably easier to see there. All right. So you've got a tailor tack here, and you've got a tailor tack there. And then what you'll see is I've actually stitched it along that line straight across from the top to the bottom. So this is the top piece, which is this split coming down here. Okay, so you've just got to stitch it between there and the top of the dress, which is that bit there. Okay, just so that it makes sense. And then you've got another tailor tack coming across the top here and another one along the top there. And that will be the line that you need to do your gathering stitches. You've got some more at the bottom, so I've already done one there, Blue Peter. And then you've got another one here. So you go and you've got little circles according to the size that you're making. Okay, so you've got 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. So I'm doing the size 22. And just to give you a bit of guidance, I'm between a 16 and 18 and my size is the 22. So like Debbie said, it can be slightly different to your shop bought clothes. So we have a look along the line for size 22, which is this dot here. And then what you do is you put your needle in, go from one side of the circle to the other, bring your thread through like that, so you've got that end there. Then what you do is you go over it again. So I'm going to put it in that end and out the other. Okay. Sometimes you have to hold on to that end, and otherwise it starts to pull through again. So then with your scissors, just snip it along there. So you've literally got, like my pincushion. Guess where I got that from? So you'll find a little circle in there in the middle with the two little ends. So the circle you just snip along with your scissors, like that. And then you peel back your pattern. Have I done that one along there as well? Yes, I have. Because I always keep my pattern pieces, like we said before, actually on the pattern until I've actually dealt with them. Because then you'll scrap, oh, what piece have I got here? So I prefer to keep it on there until I'm using it. So you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tailor tacks, all done in exactly the same way. So what you do is that you take the fabric into two, because obviously it's 2 halves, pull it apart gradually like that. Can you see those stitches in between there? Like that. Then you get your scissors and you snip them in between to release it. So what you've got is you've got a marker on the top with a tailor tack, and then you've got a marker on the bottom, tailor tack. All right, so it marks both pieces. So I'm just going to go round each one in exactly the same way. I'll do it slowly so you can just get a good eyeful of what I'm doing. Oh, there we go. Well, we can actually get rid of those now, can't we? Because we've already dealt with those. I've already sewn on those. So as soon as you've dealt with this, it's always best to take it out at the point that you've used them, because if you start stitching in between, it can get caught between the stitches and get a little bit difficult to undo. So we're going to move along to this bottom, which is your gather line.
Right.
All right, so we're going to gather between that point and that point to give us the gathers under the bust.
Okay, doke. While you're just doing that, morning, Sheena. Sheena's looking forward to the show. Angie's turned up at that. Now, you're normally really early, Angie, and we've been talking about you for 15 minutes. And Sue, yes, we can do Bias Binding with Mitered Corners. Alan's been busy, I've seen his pictures. And, yeah, sorry I'm late, says Angie, but fantastic show as all. Well, you wouldn't know if it's a fantastic show because you're late. Honestly. But no, it's really nice to hear from you all. Oh, now with the dress pattern, size 14 to 22 is the most popular so far. Fabric-wise, we've got viscose and viscose mixes on here. But if you've got your own favourite fabrics, you can use double georgette, crepe, challis, rayon, and it's unsuitable for obvious diagonals, apparently. That's what it says. Oh, can I just show you, sorry Rachel, before we move on, the blossom.
I thought this was my fabric.
Yeah, I thought it was the same.
I did make my dress, by the way.
It's lovely.
Thank you, Debbie.
This is viscose, so it's really lovely and lightweight and floaty and cool and drapey, but it's got a good weight to it, this one. Isn't it? It's a nice weight.
How lovely.
And there's 3 meters here. So we have put it together with an invisible zip, with elastic, and with your hooks and eyes, which you're going to need for this dress. But of course, if you just love the fabric and you've got another dress or a skirt in mind, then you can go for that one. So that whole packet of hooks and eyes, and you only need 1, and you've got your elastic and your zip included as well. We are very generous, are we not? Right. Okay. Sorry. Back to you.
That's okay. So what you do, I'm just going to do just one side of the gathers. Okay, so as you can see, this is the top of the dress opened out. Okay, so what you would normally do, I like to press as I go along, because sometimes when you go too far along, it's very difficult to start opening seams and go back on what you've already done, because it might be covered up by something else you've done on top. So at this stage, I would definitely, should I press it?
Yeah. Yeah. Have you got the?
Let's do it properly. Have we got the ironing mat here?
I'm very, very subtly handing that over to you.
Oh, look, this has just arrived. This is one I had earlier. So what you do, obviously on the reverse side, on the wrong side, got a little bit of tailor tack left in there. Like I say, take them out as you've used them, because they can get caught in the stitches. So my iron, oh God, that's a huge iron, isn't it? Oh gosh, right. Oh, is it on? Oh,
Is it on? Turn it clockwise.
This one here.
No, the big dial.
Oh.
No. Oh, yeah, that's it. That's on.
Ah, oh, it's on now. Little red light's on. Nee. Right.
While you're pressing,
Yes.
why are we going to be talking about water skiing?
Well,
Have you been water skiing over the weekend?
no, not over the weekend, because
Right.
I think I'd sink now. Or I might even bob up and down. You don't know really, do you? I
don't know
might
till you
do.
try,
I might
do you?
do. Well, I will tell you a little story. It's a little bit like my Slim Jim one last time I was in, but this is just as funny, but obviously a different subject. Now, years ago, before I had the children, so I was probably a size 6, but it's a couple of sizes bigger than what I am now. You know. Anyway, I was in my bikini on a beach in Ibiza, right? And no, it wasn't. It was Greece. I beg your pardon. It was Corfu.
Oh, you're so well travelled.
Oh, I know. I've just got to remember which year that was and which holiday that was. Which season. No, I'm not really that well travelled. Anyway, I went to Corfu, and all along the beach were like Yanis this and Yanis that, which is a good old Greek name, all bronzed. It's a bit hot in here, isn't it? Oh, gosh.
Do you want me to give you a waft?
Oh, I come over a bit funny then. Yeah. So anyway, all along on the beach, there was like along like a little jetty, I suppose you'd call it, and of course they all do water skiing lessons, which is where my story begins. Anyway, Yanis was at the jetty and he was going. And I was walking up the beach going, I'm here, Yanis. Anyway, he was telling me how to water ski. So I had my life jacket on, obviously. It's all safety sure there. And then he was showing me how to put this water ski on. Well, I'd never been in the water on a water ski before, ever. And these were training ones. Did you know you could get training ones?
No.
Well, if you had the ordinary skis, I'd probably end up doing the splits. So these training ones, until you get used to it, they've strung them together basically. So you can't really do that. So anyway, he told me that I had to get into the water like this on my skis, bring my knees up to my chest with the water skis on. Then he was in his little boat with the water ski rope on there, and he said, I'm going to go on my boat around. Okay, I've forgotten completely what he said. Anyway, so I did what he said, and I grabbed hold of the rope. There I was in the water like this. I thought, yeah, I'm ready. I'm going to water ski. Anyway, he went off on his boat, and sure enough, out the water, up I came onto the water skis. And we went round, and my husband, it was on the beach. That was my first husband. I've got my latest husband at home. I'm in the hospital at the moment. Anyway, I went round the little, what do you call it? Like a little, no, like the little inlet. Yeah, the bay. Yeah, well, that's better. Bay. Watch. Bay. And we did that a couple of times, and I was in the water, and I was going, hey, I'm water skiing. Well, he did give me a bit of a warning before I went, which I did forget. He said, if you feel like whatever you do, don't look down in the water, because he said you'll fall over. But if you do, don't worry. He said, just let go of the rope. And he said, and I'll come back round in my boat, and I'll come and pick you back up. Well, what did I do?
You looked down.
I looked down.
You fell over.
I fell over, but I didn't let go of the rope.
Oh.
Unfortunately. So I was in the water, and I was like this, until I realised that actually it's about time to let go now. So anyway, I let go, and of course I was like this in the water, hoping that he was going to come round. And anyway, as I was waiting for him to come round, I thought, whatever's that on the water? So I went, it was my bikini bottoms. when I fell in the water, I know, well, it's true. And when I fell in the water, my bikini bottoms come out, and I thought, oh my God, he's coming round, and I've got nothing on the bottom. So I picked them up out the water. I was trying to get them on, and of course, because I had the life jacket on, trying to put one leg in the bikini bottom, of course you bob up and down like that, so then you have to bob up and down the other way as well before to get your pants back on. Anyway, thankfully I did. By the time he got round, I thought, thank goodness for that. Anyway, we went straight back to the jetty, and so I was a bit shaky, but never mind. I walked along the beach back to my husband. Walked along like this. I've been water skiing. I happened to look down. Not only did I have my bikini bottoms inside out, with a little white gusset on underneath, but I had the label sticking out like that as I walked back. Yeah. I have to say I've never been water skiing ever again.
It wasn't a string bikini, was it?
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It was quite a sensible one. But
So
anyway,
is
did
your
you
iron
enjoy
hot
that little
there?
story? Yeah, I've gone all hot now. That's just thinking of Yanis, actually. Oh, is the iron hot? Well, that's given it a little bit of an iron. So you can see that's quite nice and neat, which is this point from there to there. Okay. So on the actual pattern,
Is the iron hot?
I don't think so. No. Oh, it is getting warm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it'll be warm for next time. Oh, he's on a journey, I think. He wants to go water skiing, I think. Anyway, here's your seam allowance. So what you do is you turn up your seam allowance on the top, like that, all the way up. Okay? And I would give it a really good press then, to give it a nice sharp edge. So hopefully... Yay! And then on the other side, just continue your seam allowance down the top.
Caroline sent a message in. Morning, Caroline. Wishing Gary a speedy recovery.
Thank you, Caroline. He is watching. All right, he's watching on YouTube, so he's going to hear all your messages, and it will help him get better soon. Thank you. Right, so when we turn this back, you then have to turn that over again to make like a little rolled hem, and then you stitch it really, really carefully or until that point there, and then leave the rest of the seam open. I overlocked my seam as well just to neaten it up, but that would then give you that effect there, just stitching down the side.
Okay.
Okay, just neaten it up. So now we're on to the gathers. So where did I put my needle? Oh yes, in there. So we start off at this point. So you just put your needle in. Now what I tend to do, don't expect everybody does this, but I do. I sort of pull it round a couple of times just to hold the stitch in the first point.
Right.
Like that. And then you just use your gathering stitches like this. All right?
So just a little running stitch.
Yeah. Some people prefer to do it on the machine. It's just your preference, really. As I did before with the other garment that I made on my last show, a lady asked if I'd just put some tutorials onto the Facebook of finishing the top. So if anybody would like to do that, then just let me know, and I'll take some pictures as I go along,
Okay,
so that you can actually make the whole thing rather than just seeing it in little bits. There we go. I haven't really got over the anise yet.
After all these years, Rachel.
I know. I
Still got a place in your heart.
I dream about them, but don't start on the dreams this morning. You don't know what's going to happen. Right. Right, so there we have one. Okay. So what that does is that when you've got your front piece, I haven't cut that out today because I just wanted to show you how I actually gather from one point to the other. So when you've got your front piece on, that obviously fits on round here, and this piece here will be smaller than that piece,
Right.
because when you gather like this, you then gather it, and I would pin on the skirt from one point to the other first, up to this point, and then pin it up to that point, and then I would gather it to fit. Okay. Mm-hmm. Then what I would then do is I would then get my thread and literally tack it across there, because sometimes what happens if you don't tack it first, you actually flatten the gathers as you go along, and we don't want them flattened. Okay, so that's your tailor's tacks.
Okay.
And so to get the gathers at the top, you would do exactly the same thing. Okay, with this round here.
Right.
Okay, and then when you put, the difference with that is when you put the neckband on, the neckband you pin from the front to the shoulder seam, and then you just gather it up to fit, and that's the easiest way I find to do it.
Okie doke. Angie says, "Get well soon, Gary." She says, "You're more loved than Yanis."
Oh, thank
she
you.
says.
Oh, he is. Yeah, I can tell you he is.
Let me just give you a reminder of the pattern that Rachel's using. There's three different variations of the same dress on here. It's really pretty, and I think this is the larger size. So this has been the most popular one. So this is 14 through to 22. But I think it's one of those dresses that you could really dress up, if you know what I mean. So this could be something that you're going to wear to a wedding. It could equally well be just something that you're going to wear to the office, depending on the fabric that you're choosing. But it's a really pretty dress, and like Rachel said, there may be skills in here that you haven't used as yet, so or that you haven't. Well, it's a learning curve, basically, isn't it? So if you've never sewn an invisible zip, if you've never done gathers before, then this is a good pattern to go for. So it's £9.99, and that one is sizes 14 through to 22. We also have available for you the 6 through to size 14. Let me just give you those sizes actually. So the she's a bit been on the sherry. So your size 6 will go for, we're up here, aren't we? On the bust size. These will be on the website. So the smallest one is 30.5 inches, going up to 44 on the 22. So this one is 6 to 14, which is the 36. So if you're doing 30.5 and 36 on the bust, then you go for the 6 to 14. If you are between your 36 and 44 on the bust, then you're going to go for the larger size. So, invisible zips. I know a lot of
Yeah.
people, you say invisible zip and they go,
Yes, they can be tricky, okay, but there are methods to make it slightly easier for yourself. Can I say as well, actually, that with the sizes, if you are at whatever size you are on the top of your bust, not right at the fullest part, because this pattern has gathers, so it will actually take care of the fullness of your bust.
right.
But if you measure round here, then use the pattern for that, and then you'll be fine. Just thought I'd put that in.
That's right.
Makes me feel important.
The invisible zips, by the way, if you're going to go for any of the bundles that we put together for you, they all come with the invisible zip and elastic, so you can put the elastic around the sleeves like this one, and you've got a packet of hooks and eyes in there, so I've just thrown in for good measure. So the black one that the sample's made out of here's got a bit of spandex in it. That's £54.41, and it's 135 centimetres wide, so you've got a nice wide piece of fabric there.
Sorry, just trying to get. I should have done this before, shouldn't I?
The blue blossom, by the way, that's been really busy. So we haven't actually got very many of those left.
There we go.
This one is 140 centimetres wide, if I remember right. 145, sorry. And again, you've got your 3 metres. This is 100% viscose.
Okay. So just got the staples out now. It was saying, please release me, let me go. So I have now. Right. My husband's the singer, not me. Right, so we've got the 2 back pieces. Okay, so you can see down the straight edge, that goes down the centre back. So that's partly where your zip's going to go, partly there. So down to here is the middle seam, is the waist seam. Okay, which is here.
Right.
So here's your skirt pattern. There's a skirt piece here. So as you can see, you've got notches here and you've got a little circle there. Now it's really important that you put your circle there as well, because that tells you how far down the zip placement is. Okay. So I'm just going to take that piece of pattern there. Oh, I didn't cut my tailor's tack.
Carol likes a tailor's tack.
Do you, Carol?
She says, loving the show and nothing beats
Yeah.
a tailor tack, she said.
No, it
Hope Gary gets
doesn't.
better soon.
Thank you very much, Carol.
She says our Alexa keeps waking up and joining in with it this morning.
Oh.
Alexa? Alexa?
Yeah.
I don't have one, but they do recognise their owner's voice, don't they? I just imagine.
Well, I went round to see a friend of mine, actually, because obviously Gary wasn't very well and she wanted me to pop round for a cup of coffee. And all of a sudden she went, Alexa, and I thought, where is that? I was drinking my coffee and I just looked at her and she said, oh, it's all right, she said, it's Alexa. I forgot it was called Alexa. Right, so this is going to be the side seam, okay? So what we need to do is we need to put right sides to right sides. Because obviously if you're dealing with the pattern piece, you will see which is the wrong side because it hasn't got the main pattern on. But we can... Right, so where's my...
Can you
Fantastic.
scooch it over that way a little bit?
There
That's
we
it.
go.
Lovely.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Lovely. So with your notches, you put your notches together. And like I did before, I just put like a little pin in there. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, silly me.
What are you doing?
See, we all make mistakes, see? I was actually pinning it down there, and it's not going to work, is it? 'Cause that's the armhole.
No, that wouldn't work
I'm
at
doing the
all.
waist. Sometimes it's nice to know that other people make silly mistakes as well. But nobody's watching when you're sewing at home, remember, so don't get yourself panicky. Okay, so we just pin it along there like that.
Just while you're pinning
do this,
there,
yeah.
I'm just going to say Tilda. No collection. Website. Was that 3 words? Okay.
Is Tilda website 3 words then? web.
Just saying, you know. Not supposed to, not one of my shows, but you know,
No.
no, just like to steer you in that direction.
Absolutely, but it's all sold on Sewing Street.
I feel like I've got Tilda Tourette's this morning.
Oh, have you?
Tilda, just Tilda. It's funny when you say a word over and over again, it sounds silly, doesn't it?
I mean, if I come out with Yanis, you'll know why, won't you? Right, here we go. I actually get to use the machine this morning. How exciting. Right, get to put my feet on the pedal. It's surprisingly quite difficult to actually sew when standing up.
Tell me about it.
I
And I've just
know.
got a feeling in the new studio we're going to be sewing standing up.
So we've got 5/8 of the seam, 5/8 of an inch, okay? You'd normally have a straight stitch foot on here, but just for the purposes of this morning and swapping round.
Angie's Alexa's just gone off.
Oh,
Alexa! Alexa, have a look at Tilda on the website.
should I tell you what I like when I'm a bit bossy? I like to say, Alexa, stop!
Whatever it is you're doing, just stop.
Whatever you're doing. Right. Let's stitch up here. Nearly done.
What happens when she goes off, though, Angie? You say Alexa went off. What did she do? Just took herself up and picked up her skirts and ran out the room? What did she do? Is she talking to you? Did she say, how can I help? That, you know, like Siri. It's like, don't say the Siri. It's a bit like saying Beetlejuice 3 times. You don't do it.
Oh. Do you know, I've never watched that film, Beetlejuice.
Haven't you?
No.
It's hilarious. You should watch it.
I thought it was a horror film. It was over 18, so I'm not quite old enough yet to watch it. Right, so we're just going to iron down that seam, just so you can see what I'm doing.
That iron is struggling this morning, isn't it?
It is a little bit, yeah, but I think it's enough just to show people what we are doing.
Is this
There we
the
go.
iron that Hannah demonstrated yesterday on the show?
And
It wasn't. I was going to blame Hannah for breaking it, but it wasn't that one. So
there we go. It's got
to blame her for
little,
something else.
It's got
then.
the little red light on there, so right. So just give it a little press on the top there as well. Look, there you go. Oh, there we go. So that's one side. Okay. So that's the seam down the back. Just go down the other side.
Pretty colour, this, isn't it? It's very,
Ever such
very
a pretty
summery.
colour. I've actually only known just recently I can actually wear that colour.
Oh.
Yeah. Because when I was a little girl, a couple of years ago, I was always told what lovely blue eyes I had. So
While you're there,
yeah,
you just
and of
stand
course,
the iron up.
you know, like
I've just got a feeling the zip's going to melt.
Oh yeah, it's a bit warm. Oh. Don't do that at home. And I was always told what lovely blue eyes I had. So and of course your granny in those days, she said, "Oh, you ought to wear blue. It matches your eyes, you know, don't you?" And then when you grow up and you have blue eyeshadow, and it's like blue eyeshadow because you think it looks lovely, don't you? And it doesn't. But anyway, my little blue eyes.
I don't know why we're talking about.
No, I had to stop
Do you
then.
remember,
I thought, what
do you
on earth
remember
am I
cherry
talking about?
flavoured lip gloss with a rollerball in the end of it? Oh, that was amazing. Black cherry lip gloss. I'm just thinking of that era when you very carefully kind of blend together blue eyeshadows and then it looks like you've done that. It was very fashionable in Edwardian times.
I know why I mentioned blue eyes.
Yeah?
Because, of course, my granny used to say, you ought to wear blue because it matches your blue eyes. My mum used to say that yes, you ought to. So all I used to wear was blue.
Oh.
So I didn't really know I could wear any other colours. And or I was scared to wear any other colours in case I looked horrible. Actually, even my Mickey Mouse shorts were blue background. Remember those from last time? I threw them out last week.
I bet Yanis remembers them.
Yeah. Well, actually, my Mickey Mouse shorts, I made a hairband with them because that's all I could do with them last week. Right, there we go. So that's the next scene. There we go. That's got that done. Ooh, snip that off.
That is the longest thread you've just pulled out of that machine.
Have I? Oh, yes, it is actually, isn't it? Fairy dust.
You've got about 10 minutes. Is that going to be longer?
Oh, yeah. I'm just going to I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to press this really, really quickly, and then I'm going to show you how to place the zip.
Right.
And I might just have to explain to you how to do the other side, if that's okay.
Okay.
All right, so we've just given it a little press there. So then you've got your two sides. I think I've sewn them the opposite way,
Have you?
haven't I? Because that should be the straight side, shouldn't it? Do you see what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
well,
because that
I
fabric's
tell
got
you
no
what
right
I'll
and wrong
do.
side, has it?
As I was going to do in the beginning, I'll show you how to do one side of the zip. Okay, all is not lost. So basically what you do is you get your zip and you undo it. See? So this little marker here is actually on the 5/8 line. Okay, so what you do is that, how I do it is I have a look to see how my zip should look actually on the fabric like that, if that makes sense. And then you get your zip and you put it along with the top of the ribbon of the zip along the top of the fabric, okay, and the rest of it down the 5/8. See, when it goes wrong, it goes horribly wrong, doesn't it? Honestly.
That is the
That's the
easiest
only
mistake
thing,
when
isn't
you've
it?
got no
It's-
right or wrong side to the
It
fabric,
is,
though, isn't
it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you sort of think, which way round does it go?
And you
So
have got a head full of tanned Greek young men at the moment.
I know. Yanis, come back. Right, so that's the right way. So I'm going to just pin it along so you can see. Now the important tool you have to have here is an invisible foot, okay? So I will show you that because I don't think we're going to have time to do all of that, but I'm going to show you. And if anybody wants me to put this on to the Facebook fans page, I'm very happy to do that, okay, and finish it off.
Thank you.
So where you pin it along, the zip like that, that's along the seam line, okay? So when you turn it out, you won't see the zip, all right? That's how that is. Now the little zipper foot, this is just mine from home, but on your machine, sometimes they don't always come with it. So if you have a look at this, I'll put it on top of the fabric so you can see it. So you'll see that you've got like your little bar across which goes on your machine, and then underneath you've got two little grooves. Can you see those? 1 and 2. Okay, so you can set your needle to the middle point, okay, which is really important. And also when you're sewing along the zip, the groove of that has to go in there.
Okay.
Okay, so as you move your machine foot down like that, you should just try and roll it round with your hands, because if you don't, it will actually slip out the groove. So, and that makes a really fine stitch. And if you just move it along, the stitch will actually end up right in by the teeth, but not on the teeth. all right? So and that will give you a really perfect edge.
It is actually, I think once you've put your first invisible zip in, you'll be wondering why all of your garments don't have invisible zips in.
Yeah, I'm sorry that went a little bit wrong there, but obviously I put invisible zips in all the time with the wedding gowns, so I should know better. But when you put your zip in, because you've got a seam going down the middle, now when you do your other side, when that turns round like that, it's a perfect invisible zip line, okay? So when you turn your zip round and you do the other side, what I would do is I would line up your two pieces with the middle seam, line your middle seam up to this one, okay? And then what I would do, you've always, with an invisible zip, you always have to stitch from the top to the bottom, always. Because if you start at the top on one side and at the bottom on the other side, you will get it, it won't meet. And that always happens, doesn't it, Debbie?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's an easy mistake to make because you think it's easier.
You always put an invisible zip in before you sew the seam as well, don't you?
Absolutely, yeah. So you don't sew the rest of this down, okay? So so what I would do is I'd put two pieces together like that, and then I would place my zip like that. Just imagine that's just on the other side. So I would see where that middle seam is, and I'd put a little pin right across there, okay? Then I would drag it right up to the other side and then pin it, and I would also tack it just to make sure that that doesn't move whilst you're sewing it, okay? So once you've sewn all the way down, you're going to stop down the bottom, and as Debbie said, see that's stopping right where those notches are, okay?
Right.
So this seam down the bottom is going to remain open for now, okay? So what I would do, because one side of your machine, when you're sewing this way round, you're not going to have a lot of the fabric on your machine. The other way round, you're going to have a lot clogged up. So what I always do is I would, when I finished sewing it, I would actually turn the seam in like that. So that, imagine this is the seam. Then on the machine, I would just sew just the little bit down the bottom, just a little bit past that. Okay, and then I would sew the rest of the seam. Now the trick is that when you sew up the seam, you've just got to come just to the other side, and you use a zipper foot for that, which most people have on their machines.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is you can actually set the needle to go in either side, so you can get the needle really, really close to the zip, right where the little curls, where the little coils are. So then you just sew it right up to there, all the way up, and then that will give you a really nice flat.
Lovely. And you don't see it at all?
No.
Fabulous. Okay, we're just about out of time, so you're going to be back again at 10 o'clock with our rabbit.
But as I said, if people want me to put it on the Facebook without the mistakes, then I'm quite happy to do that.
Thank you. Okay, then if you're new to us, let me just give you a reminder of how you can place your order for anything that you've seen on the show today or anything else on the website, and we'll see you again in a couple of minutes.
Shopping with us couldn't be easier. If you want to shop online, then you can head to our website, www.sewingstreet.com. It will redirect you to our sister channel Jewellery Makers landing page. Don't worry, you haven't gone to the wrong place. We're simply using their website temporarily while we're building our own web shop. Scroll down past the Watch Live part, and you'll see all of the products that you will have seen on air on today's live show. You can also shop our catalogue by clicking a category, clicking a product to view closer, and adding it to your basket. Once you're ready to check out, you will need to create an account, which is absolutely free to do so, but it will mean that you can check out on as many orders as you want throughout the day with still only paying one postage and packaging. If you'd prefer to speak to somebody in our UK-based customer service team, then you can do so via the free telephone line number 0800 001 4433. They will not only help you create an account, but will also help you with any of your online shopping.
Carol says, we'll have Alexas going off all over the country, a bit like Bobbin sets dogs barking all over the world. Bobbin's actually my dog, and we do a live Facebook every Saturday morning from home, and if she barks, she barks. There's nothing I can do about it. But I've had people in Australia messaging saying, my dog's barking at your dog now. So we do have this kind of chain reaction all over the world. I don't think I can affect Alexas, but if I can... Alexa... order me a 680 sewing machine from Sewing Street, please. Can you imagine? Where's my credit card bill so high? Right, let's take a look at these patterns. We've got 6 to 14. So just looking for a pincushion. Sizes 6 to 14. So we will take you from 30.5 on the smallest of the bust size through to 36. That's your upper bust measurement. Remember, measure underneath your arm. So that's not your full bust. And if you, I mean, the hips are 32 through to 36, but always when you're buying a dress pattern, go for your bust size, not your hip size, because the hips are easier to adjust than the bust. But this has got an empire line, so it's quite floaty around the hips anyway, so just go by bust size for this one. And you can see we've got different styles here. There's 3 different styles of sleeve, and this one's got a bit of a ruffle going on. So your 3 meters of fabric, if you're going to go for the bundle, will be fine for any of these. The larger sizes, that's 14 through to 22. Here on the bust size, we go from 36 through to 44. You'll have enough fabric to make the dress that you see behind me, that you saw behind me. You may find the sleeves are a little bit shorter on that one. So your 3 meters will take you up to the largest size, but with slightly shorter sleeves, just to let you know. If you're using your own fabric, maybe go 3.5 or 4 meters. But if you have a look on the website, if you can, on sewingstreet.com, there'll be a picture of the back of the packaging there, and it'll take you through the amounts of fabric that you need for the different widths of fabric that you're buying as well. So that's worth taking a look at. So that's £9.99. The dress behind me here is actually made from a viscose spandex mix. So the fabric's got a nice little bit of stretch. And as Rachel was saying, maybe a sharp needle will be, as in brand name Sharps, or the name of the needle Sharps, would be suitable, as opposed to a ballpoint needle. Sharp needles are exactly what they say, they're sharper, and they are designed to work with spandex. So that's £54.41 for 3 meters, 135 centimeters wide. We're also including a black invisible zip. You've got some elastic if you want to put that around your sleeves, and elastic's in short supply at the moment, worth you £54.41 for this. And you have a whole packet of hooks and eyes included in the price as well. So that's the dark. Then this is so pretty, isn't it? Even if you're not making the dress, you've got a spare zip, you've got spare hooks and eyes, and a bit of precious elastic. But look how pretty this fabric is. And it's viscose, 100% viscose, this one. Viscose is a lovely fabric to work with. Sometimes it can be very fluid. So when you've got one half under your sewing machine, the rest of it's kind of spilling off the edge of the table. This isn't. It's not so fine that it's going to be difficult to work with. It actually feels like cotton. Viscose behaves in very much the same way, but it's a lot more friendly than cotton is, and it's more floaty. It has a smoother handle than cotton, but otherwise it behaves in very much the same way. It's natural, it's breathable, it's wickable, and it's a lovely fabric for summertime. And I just think that's so pretty, isn't it? I'd like homewares made out of that one. I'm imagining cushion covers in my conservatory. I haven't got a conservatory. We also have the yellow bundle that Rachel was working with as well. Have a look on the website for more details of that one. Now, the next style, we're going to be doing a bit of bag making. We do have fabrics as well, and we're not featuring Tilda fabrics, Alexa, but there are Tilda fabrics on the website, apparently. If you happen to be looking on sewingstreet.com and you put Tilda into the search bar, you may actually find some bundles there. See you again in a couple of minutes.
Hello, my name's Rachel Ilsley. Let me show you around my beautiful sewing studio, Magnolia. My sewing studio is in Wootton Bassett, and on a daily basis I alter and dress make for bridal customers. All my brides are absolutely wonderful. You can see I make waistcoats, bridesmaids' dresses, anything really they ask me for. Now, my sewing story started as an adopted child, and my adoptive mother was also a seamstress, so she taught me everything I know. So I feel extremely lucky to be able to now be doing this as a profession. Also very proud am I to be now a part of the Sewing Street family, and I so look forward to being on the shows with all of your support, which I know that I have. My claim to fame. Well, I did appear on another sewing channel in last November, on the 7th of November. Some of you may have watched it. And so that was my little claim to fame. So I've just literally risen from a full-time insurance job to sewing as a profession. I look forward to seeing you all. Bye!
If you'd like to get in touch with us during our live show and send in any messages or any questions, then you can do it on studio@sewingstreet.com. Alternatively, you can message us on our official Facebook page.
Hi, I'm Debbie Shaw, and as a professional sewer, I really know how important it is to use a high quality thread. Well, you think about it. You spend a lot of money on your sewing machine, you'll spend a lot of money on fabric, and you'll spend a lot of time sewing. So why let your thread let you down? I know a lot of our designers and customers prefer to use Aurifil thread. Now, this is a family business. It was established in 1983 and they're based just outside Milan in Italy. They produce superior quality threads for domestic and professional sewers alike, and they've achieved worldwide success with quilters, sewers, embroiderers and textile artists who all appreciate the versatility and the strength of these threads. It's all made from Egyptian cotton, which is grown just at the side of the River Nile, and Aurifil only use the long staple threads, which gives their thread that strength. Each one of these threads goes through 15 steps before it even gets onto a spool and then comes to you to use in your sewing projects. Now at Sewing Street, we've collaborated with Aurifil and we've brought you two collections of threads. So we have the Quiltes Collection, and these are exclusive to Sewing Street. We've done a lot of research with quilters, and these are the colours that you prefer to use. So we put a whole collection together for you. The second collection is the Essential Collection. So this is for the homemakers, for the bag makers, for the craft sewers, for the dressmakers. And again, these have been proven to be the most popular colours that you're going to use. So if you want your projects to last longer and your seams to be stronger, invest in some quality thread.
Hi, I'm Wendy Orlando and I'm a craft blogger. You can find me over at thecraftyco.com, and if you do head on over and have a peep, you will see that I'm a tutorial blogger. I do all kinds of crafts, but my passions are crochet, knitting and sewing, which I've done for over 45 years. In that time, I've made lots of mistakes, but I have learnt lots of tricks and top tips that I can't wait to share. What I'd like to bring to the Sewing Street table is to show that you don't need to have gone to university or have a degree in design to be able to sew. You just need passion, a bit of courage to take the first steps, and a whole lot of patience. Oh, and an unpicker. You will need an unpicker. I do hope that you will follow me as I take my Sewing Street journey, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon.
Right, welcome back again. Now in this show we're going to be doing a bit of bag making, and we've got some kits for you as well that we managed to get some more stock on, so I'll take you through those in just a second. But I wanted to give you a reminder of our early bird special, because that's £1 in your pocket when you order this one, and you've got a really nice little bundle of fat quarters. So it's only £6.99. That's under £2 for a fat quarter of fabric, which is fabulous value. And these are the designs. It's really pretty, so very delicate little flowers. I think this one's really unusual, but it's got like the vine leaves, little dots in the middle. I love this one. It's quite a tropical kind of feeling, I reckon, to that one. And then we've got Ditsy flowers as well. So those are your 4 fat almost 4 fat quarters for £6.99. Oh, I've never said that before. Didn't say it this time either. Just in case. The thing is, all these shows go on YouTube like forever, don't they? So you have to be very careful. You know, when people say don't talk about the tilde that's on the website, you have to be very careful not to say that there are some tilde bundles on the website, because I'm going to be in trouble, particularly when it's a new collection of half meters. Right, so that is your early bird. Let's have a look at a couple of bag kits which have been really popular. So that's a nice style of bag, isn't it? I wonder who designed this one. This is from my backpack book, and this was actually made by, was it Cara who made this one? And we put together the fabrics and the hardware. Well, you've got the rectangle rings and the sliders included in that for £20.99. So you've got 2 meters of fabric. You have the lining fabric in the pale blue, and Cara's made the straps out of that as well. So for the backpack pattern, you'll need to buy the book. But if you just wanted to go for the fabric bundle, this is what you're getting. So those two, and lovely fabric. It's actually all these hearts are kind of raised. It's almost like they've been, you know, when you get the fabric glue and it's textured, feels a bit like that. It's probably not, but you know. So that's £21.99 for 1.5 meters of the heart, and you've got 0.5 meter of the blue fabric as well. So Cara actually demonstrated this on Tuesday the 4th of August, and it did actually sell out on the show. But we've been rearranging stuff for you, and we've managed to get some more back. So that's just for the fabric and the sliders. If you wanted to go for the book, I'll give you the details of that later on as well. Nice size that, isn't it, there? Nice for going back to school kind of bag, or if you just want to keep your hands free. And I like a backpack because I've got a problem with my neck, and handbags don't help when it's on that side. So backpacks are ideal. Okay, so that's £21.99 for the fabric bundle and hardware. And then we've got this one. This is a nice bag. It's huge. Like a big bag. So it could be a craft bag, maybe a weekend away bag. And this is a Quiltes As You Go, and it's a really popular fabric collection. And when you see it, you can understand why. Look at these. So for £49.99. We have, it's just really, that's pretty. Really lovely, bright, summery colours, these, aren't they? 0.5 meter of each of those. That's a lot of fabric for your £49.99. Got little bees on there. And you've got the blue for the lining. You will have some left over from this as well. And it's a simple bag to make, because it's a Quilt As You Go. So it's literally like sewing by numbers. You put your strips over the marks on the wadding, which is already marked out for you. And you're even getting handle webbing in there as well. And the nice thing about this one is it goes large. So you've got the buttons at the side, and when you open those up, you can fit even more shopping in there. Look at the size of this. There we go. It's huge. Oh, 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 oh. What's that then? Oh, they're cup holder. That's a nice idea. These were made with the leftovers. Oh, lovely. Oh, what a nice idea that is. What else has she made? She's made makeup bags and everything, look. That's different fabric, isn't it? That was from a previous one. Oh, that's one of my patterns. Who knew? Oh, that's one of mine as well. Oh, there you go. Somewhere to store your makes. Now this was demonstrated on Wednesday the 5th of August, so if you have a look back through our YouTube channel, so if you go onto YouTube and put Sewing Street into the search bar at the top, then you'll see a whole lot of videos come up. Click on the one with the circle with Sewing Street and then click on videos, and all the videos will come up in date order. So have a look back on the 4th and the 5th of August and you'll see these bags demonstrated more fully. So if you need a little bit of advice, then that's the place to be. So that's all that for 49, but you don't get all the bits and bobs inside it. So that's that one. All right, rabbit. Need a bigger table, don't we? Now with our cotton canvas, I use an awful lot of this cotton canvas fabric. I think the quality is amazing. I love the colours that it comes in, but it's a really versatile fabric as well. If you're dressmaking, I wouldn't make a dress, but you could certainly make a lightweight jacket. You could make a tailored skirt. You could make a pair of trousers out of this. But for homewares as well. So if you're covering a stool or your dining chairs or your garden furniture, if you're making cushions, it's absolutely perfect, and it makes nice curtains as well. And these are all of the colours that we have for you. So if you are bag making, I'd still use H640 or some kind of stabiliser behind it, because although it's a really strong, sturdy fabric, it does flop. So I do think you're going to need some sort of support if you're bag making with it. The greys are just beautiful, and they mix and match with so many different colours, whether it's creams or whites, or I like different textures of fabrics together as well. So maybe a tweed with a canvas, or mix it with lighter weight cottons. That's going to be fine again if you're using interfacing behind it to give it some structure. So that's a really good colour. I think with naturals and with creams, I just think that's a really classy combination, personally. And I think for £3.99 for half a metre, you've got a really good deal. So it's 140 wide, and it's by the half metre. Not as in by the half metre, please. It's that means that if you need a metre, it will come in a 1 metre length. If you need 2 metres, order 4 and it'll come in a 2 metre length, and so on and so forth. So that's the grey. The natural, or the cream colour, actually has some of the cotton seeds in it. So when you get it home, you'll see these little flecks of brown. This is actually from the cotton pods. So it just goes to show how natural that actually is. Stick that back there. But this isn't an Osnaburg fabric. It's not a calico. It is exactly the same canvas. It's been treated in the same way. So you have the softness, you have the strength. You just happen to have a few flecks. But it's the kind of price of calico, isn't it? That's really lovely. And again, for mixing with different colours of fabrics, it's an off-white. It'll go with absolutely anything. That's really lovely. Okay, then we have the paler grey. Actually, that and those. Put those in a collection, didn't we? For a satchel bag, if you remember. So I made I think the main bag was dark, and then it's got a lighter colour pocket on the front, and then different colour for the lining as well. But those colours I just think are really classy. So the lighter grey is a silver grey, and again goes with absolutely anything. Goes with anything. Oh, the red's nice. And again, that's £3.99. You could easily make a cushion, a nice size cushion cover out of that. If you went for 2, maybe go for the light grey and the dark grey, you could have 2 really stunning cushion covers, I think. A little bit of patchwork maybe with them, or just put some piping around. Oh, that'd be nice. Just plain grey, and then have a dark grey piping around the outside. Really simple, but very, very classy. We've got navy. Navy and red always works, doesn't it? The nautical but nice kind of look. And again with your navy, well, they all are 140 centimetres wide, so a nice width on those as well. For £3.99. And then one of the colours of the season, don't you know? Which is the teal. We've only got 10 metres of that one left, by the way, so if somebody comes along and thinks I'm going to make a pair of curtains, I'll have 20 units, please. It'll be all gone. Again, £3.99. This is a really popular colour as well. Whoops, get back down there. There we go. Actually, it works, doesn't it? They go really well together. So ochre is one of those colours that sells out, first of all. It always sells out of that one. And then finally, we've got the red, and it's a proper bright crimson pillar box, foam box kind of red. It's bright and it's bold, and it is loads of fun. And it's only £3.99. That's such a good price. Okay, so that's those. I might demo with the greys. We have H640 as well. Now this, if you haven't seen it before, I use a lot of H640. It's a fusible polyester wadding. It'll give your bag a little bit of structure, but it's still very, very soft. So if you're making a big bag, it will flop a little bit, but not as much as not having any interfacing whatsoever. So the knobbly bits on one side are glue, and you will put this on the back of your fabric and iron from the top of the fabric. You can use steam with this, and it just gives your bag a nice bit of structure. And your 1 metre piece is actually 1 metre square, so you get a really big piece of H640, and that at £9.99 again is a great price. So, and that's whether, if I'm making a little makeup bag, if I'm making a pouch, if I'm making a gift bag, or if I'm making a big handbag, or a satchel, or a backpack, that's my go-to interfacing. Oh, those tweeds, don't have a look at those. Really busy for these already. So this is Hunter's tweed. This is really classy. Look at that. But it's got a little bit of pink running through it as well. We've got anything pink? We haven't got anything pink, have we? But even with the greys, so this is £8.99 for half a metre. So, you know, be sparing with it. It is 145 centimetres wide, so you've got a lot of width. But I would go for this with maybe the dark grey and have it as a feature. So if I'm putting a pocket on the front of a bag, maybe go for the pocket in this tweed and make the rest of the bag in something that's a little bit more affordable. It's a wool polyester mix, which is the best of both worlds. So you have the softness, you've got the drape, but your little interjection of polyester means that it's long lasting, it's not going to fade, and it's not going to lose its shape either. So you've got the best of both worlds when you mix fabric content together like that. So again, that's £8.99. It's by the half metre again, so if you wanted to use this for dressmaking projects, then that's fine. That would make a nice summer weight coat. Or a lined winter coat. Oh, I'm thinking like a duffel coat with a hood on it and big toggles. It'd look nice, wouldn't it? With a matching bag, of course. We've got a bit of glam here. So this is Manhattan, and it's woven with a little bit of gold thread. It's kind of Chanel-esque, isn't it, this one, if that's a word? And it's a little bit of twinkle on there. Deep burgundy in colour, very kind of autumn wintry colour this. If you're making up your winter wardrobe already. Funny when you go into the shops, isn't it? And you start seeing winter clothing and it's still really hot outside. But now's the time we do it. But again, look at that, a twinkle. Right, so this one is a cotton, viscose, wool, lurex combo with a waffle weave, so it's actually textured. So it's called a boucle style tweed, but it's got a nice drape to it again. So it's not too heavy and wintry. It's got a nice little bit of drape. And although you've got a little bit of sparkle there, I don't think it's too eveningy. That does make a nice winter jacket, or make a nice skirt actually. I like a tweed for a skirt. A nice smart pencil skirt, I think, with that one. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? So that's Manhattan. And then this is just a really classy tweed. I feel like I'm on Savile Row this morning. That would make a lovely waistcoat, wouldn't it? Or a gentleman's jacket, pair of... Oh no, it might be a bit itchy for trousers. I think it'll need a lining with it. So it's a wool polyamide and 145 centimetres wide again. Would make a nice skirt that though, wouldn't it? Really classy. Oh, a skirt and matching waistcoat. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? That'd be a smart outfit for work. Right, so there you go. Really busy for all of those. I've only seen them for just a second and those have been really busy, particularly the first tweed there with the pink running through it. Right. I can't remember what I was going to do a tote bag, wasn't I? Let's do a tote bag. Right. Could we do wiggly? I'm sorry, I just came out with, can we do wiggly? Hannah, producer, has seen a bag that she really likes and it's got a frill around the outside. I thought we can make one of those, but I'm not sure if this fabric is suitable for a bit of wiggle. However, I can see out of the corner of my beady eye a rather nice grey and floral fabric that's coming up at 11 o'clock this morning. So we could make the main part of the bag out of the canvas and then have a bit of wiggle around the outside with, that's the one, with a Moda fabric. It's what, sorry? Oh, is it? Oh, I can't do that one then. Okay. Is there anything else I can use? Just be really subtle here. Anything, really. I think that's a no. Oh, I'm anyway. Oh, there we go. Doing it anyway. Oh, that'd be nice with red, actually, wouldn't it? Okay. We'll edit that out later. Can I not have that one? I'm not allowed to use that one. There's an argument going on in my ear. It's hilarious. She can't have the Moda. She can't have that one. It's in the bundle. I said to give her the Moda. Just give her the Moda. Oh, I don't want that. That looks like a rag. Hi, Sue. Oh, Sue's got a challenge Debbie for me. It's a challenge working here this morning, honestly. Sue's challenging me to make a picture frame. Out of fabric? A picture frame. Apparently I've had a challenge, Debbie. Can I go and clear their garden? No, is the answer to that one. No, that's not very nice. That's not fabric that we're selling, by the way. I'm not looking at 11 o'clock show saying, well, that's not very nice. Oh, anyway. Tote bags book. These come with 2 plastic templates, and so there's no paper patterns. There's nothing to draw around. There's nothing, well, there is something to draw around. There's nothing to cut out. There's nothing to enlarge. You're not tracing patterns off the out of the back of the book. That's fine, thank you. You don't need a light box. Thank you very much. Oh, that's perfect. Perfect, Kat. Thank you. So we're just going to use this. Now, I don't want a gusset on this one. So let's see if we can find a gussetless bag, which will be, there's 15 bag styles in here altogether. I think the simple tote would be the way to go. Everything explained onto as with tools that you need in different techniques as well. And all of these different styles of bags are all created just using those 2 templates. So this is the way that they work. So dark or light, let's go dark. So I'm going to make the main part of, I see I could have done this in the book, couldn't I? I've not seen one like this before. We're going to make the main part of the bag out of the dark grey. So I'll need my rotary cutter, ruler and mat. I'm all a bit pink and grey today, aren't I? And this is ever so easy. Might do the lining in the pale grey. Let's put the iron on. There we go. I'm going to chop off the selvage because we don't want you. And I'm just going to use the outside of the bag as my template. So I'm going to square this off as well. It's pretty square actually. And we'll have it twice the size of the template. Now with the templates, what you'd normally do, this is the flap. You've got a hole for a zip. They're all labelled. You've got a seam across here because some of the bags have got 2 tones of fabric. I'll explain to you how to put zips in the top as well. That's a zip end tab, so that's going to make the ends of your zip nice and neat. And then these are for handles, different widths of handles. This is to box off the corners. All of this is explained with every one of the projects, but all I'm going to use this one for is for size. So normally with thicker fabrics, if it's on fold, I'd do one piece at a time. This one I'm just going to use my rotary cutter because this is a little bit different. So let's bring that over here And we'll cut down there. So all I'm going to do is put a frill around this, just to make it a little bit different. And there we go. That's that. That's rather wide, isn't it? Let's make it a bit smaller. If it had a gusset in it, then that would be absolutely fine. Right, so we'll just have a little bag like this, but it's more about technique than anything. So I'll do the same colour on the lining, just so I'm not getting into trouble. In fact, no, we can use that, can't we? We'll do that. For using too many fabrics, so I'll need 2. These are the Moda fabrics that are coming up later on. So I don't need the template for this one. I'm just going to use that as a template. There we go. See, in my head, I'm thinking how to make a picture frame out of fabric. Love a challenge. And there. So that's the outside and the lining, and then we'll have the frill. Let's chop off again the end of this. Oh, now we haven't got very much of this left. This is part of the limited amount of fabric that we have from Moda that's coming up in the last hour today. So, but you can order it now if you like. So they're all end of lines basically. So let's cut 4 inches thick, and that'll give me a 2-inch frill. And I'll need a couple of, oh, now then I've cut that bit wrong there. I might need to join a few pieces of this together, because basically this is going to go all around the edge of that. And I don't think that's going to be long enough because it's going to be gathered. So, oh, Dawn's challenging me. Oh, she wants to see a demonstration of a mannequin pincushion. Have a look on my YouTube channel, there's one on there. That will do. I might put a little pocket on the front as well, we'll have a look later. So let's sew these together first of all, and then we'll press it. Not worried about joining together on the diagonal or anything like that. Right. Don't seem to have feed dogs. There we go. So you won't see the join when it's all gathered up anyway. Like so. So if you've got an overlock, you can do the gathering on there. Or if you have a ruffler foot like Alan has, then you could use that. So I'm just going to fold in half lengthways, but I'm just going to use a gathering stitch on this one. Oh, I need to make handles as well, don't I? Don't forget the handles, because otherwise it's not a tote bag, is it? There we go. We do have these mini irons on the website as well. And if you haven't seen them before, they are lovely little irons. They get very, very hot. They do have steam as well. But they're a nice handy size, and they actually heat up really quickly. So if you're just pressing open a few seams and you don't want to put the big iron on. My household iron is a steam generator iron. It takes a while to heat up, and when I leave it on, it can stay on all day, which is great. Unless I just want to press a seam open, and then it just seems an awful lot of waste of energy to heat all of that up when I don't really need it. Right, now I'm going to pull the thread out because I use a thread snip and actually want this to be quite long, so I can gather it. So we'll increase the stitch length as well to its maximum. So it's 5 on this one, and then just sew all the way down. Normally with gathering, it's advisable to use two lots of stitches. So you've got like 2 rows of stitches, because that helps to keep the gathering flat. But it also means that if you break one of the threads, you've still got another one to go. So again, longest stitch, And just sew all the way down that raw edge. Should have quite a nice full gather on this one. I think the one in the book might be a little bit wider than this, but the one in the book, the one that Hannah saw. Right. So then I'm going to just separate the top thread from the bottom. Could have loosened the tension a little bit. Yeah, and then we'll gather. So just take your time with this and just gather nice and evenly. Keep spreading it across. I'm going to gather from both ends, so because I find that easier. And just keep gathering until this is the same size as the perimeter of your bag. So just keep smoothing. Nice strong thread helps with this as well. So if you've got a polyester thread, would be preferable. And just keep smoothing. May take a while, this one, so you can go and put the kettle on if you like, and I'll give Alexa a shout when you've finished. Right. But this is, I think it's quite nice to add your own personality to a bag, isn't it? So although I've come up with 15 different styles for you in the tote bag books, it's like giving you the ingredients for a recipe, but if you want to go and chuck turmeric in there, then that's fine. It's kind of adding elements that you like, isn't it? So, but you know, prices of bags, honestly. Hannah saw this bag with a frill around it. It's £45. It didn't have lots of zips and pockets or anything like that. It was a tote with a frill on it. So she brought a picture in this morning saying, I'd love to make a bag like that. We can do that. So smooth that a little bit more. We're about halfway there. I'll let you know when I've finished if you want to go and do something else for a minute. But I mean, I know designer bags and they use all of the best fabrics and all that kind of thing, but I can't justify spending hundreds of pounds on a handbag, and I don't know how they get away with it. Because, you know, you can spend hundreds of pounds on a sewing machine because it's got all of the mechanics and everything, but on a bag, it's just a couple of pieces of fabric. So if you can make your own, you're making something that, you know, is personal to you. You've got pockets where you want to have them and the size that you need them, in fabrics that match the outfit that you're wearing if you wanted to. You've got the satisfaction of making something yourself. You can never have enough bags. But, you know, they're affordable. And don't think of bags just for, you know, throwing over your shoulder when you're going shopping. Bags make great storage. And because they don't tend to be too bulky, you can hang them over the back of a chair or the back of a door. So you're using up kind of wasted space, really. But lots of pockets, I like packets. If you've got a craft bag, store all your bits and bobs in there. Where are we? Just seeing how much more we need to go. Yeah, we don't need to use all of it, I don't think. I'll just smooth that out a little bit more. There are some other books available on the show that work in just the same way. So this is my tote bags book that has 2 templates. There's also the backpack book that the gold and blue backpack was made from. That's got 15 projects in it as well, and they're bigger than the tote bags because it's actually one pattern, one template that folds in half. So you can make some really quite big bags with those. I'm going to start from the other end now because that's getting a little bit tight to pull. And Hannah says, sorry she picked something with a very long gather. Because I'm thinking the words paint and dry spring to mind. But this is going to look amazing when it's finished. Love doing this. So just be careful when you're smoothing out the fabric like this, because I've only done one row of stitches, so if it breaks, got to start all over again. You could do pleats. Do you remember my fork pleats? So instead of having a gather, if you're just losing the weld, you could put pleats in it instead. Right. Now the fabric that I'm using here has been really busy. It's about to sell out. So this is one of the end of lines that we're going to bring you at 11 o'clock this morning, but this won't be here at 11 o'clock this morning. All the Modas are quilters weight. You can get ahead of the game. In fact, if this is getting a little bit tedious for you, go and have a look on the website now and just have a look at what's coming up at 11 o'clock. While you're there, just put in tilde, just, you know, putting that out there. There is quite a mixture. There's some very new ones. Right, how far have we got? Do you know, I think we're almost there. I'm going to have quite a subtle gather, I think. Just trying to keep it even as well. We've got 22 minutes to finish this. I could make another one in a different colour. Right. That will do, I think. Right, so there we go. So H640 on the wrong side of this. Just to give it a little bit of an oomph. I love this stuff. There wasn't anything like this when I first started sewing. It would have been, we used to use felt, which is quite nice. Or there was like dressmaking interfacing, and that was about it. So normally I'd have a bit of steam on this one, but all right. There we go. And this is with H640. There's lots of different now brands of fusible fleeces on the marketplace, and there's a lot of them I like, and there's a lot of them that I don't. Reason being, some of them don't take steam, and I find that steam with the H640, this is a Valiseline one, really helps the fabric to stay. Although I've got no water in there, so but it really helps, and it doesn't. Pinking shears. It doesn't wrinkle. A lot of them can wrinkle, but I don't find this does. And if you do get a little bit of a wrinkle with it, while it's still warm, you can just peel it away and then re-iron it. But start from the centre and smooth it out, and you'll find that it's a dream. Okay, just cut round there. And if you do use your rotary cutter with it, it's not like wadding where it all gets stuck in your mat. There we go, that'll do. Right, now we're going to put the frill round, so facing inwards, like that. And when you come to the corner, I'm going to kind of gather that up a little bit, so I've got a lot of fabric there, because you'll find when you go around a corner and you stretch it, when it bends out that way, you get a really mean little turn. Doesn't look too good. I'll start from that side. And I'm just going to sew just within the stitch line that I did previously. There's a lot of fraying on that. Just move it out of the way. I would trim that back if I was at home. In fact, it's really annoying. I won't trim it back anyway. And coming up to the corner, again, I'm just going to really pleat that up so I've got a nice chunk of frill in the corner. So I'm going to stop there. You probably won't find you get a perfect 90 degrees because it's a bit chunky, so it might round the corners off a little bit. And just gather that a bit more. And then, oh, actually, we could use some of the webbing that we've got. That'll be a bit quicker than trying to make handles, wouldn't it? And I do like something a little bit shop bought on a bag. So some kind of hardware, or so there's no hardware on this one. I could have put a magnetic snap on it. But if you use maybe a leather look webbing handle, just looks a little bit more professional. So let's just turn around the corner. Again, I've put quite a nice pleat. There's lots on the website, by the way. We're calling it webbing. In fact, it's the manufacturers that call it webbing, but it's a faux leather strap. I don't know where the webbing bit came from personally, but that's what they call it, so that's what we're going to call it. It's a little bit too gathered. All right, so just up to the end there. So, okay, just check that's all okay before I cut that off. And lots of thread. So we have that. And then let's squish this in. And I'm going to sew one lining piece to the top of it. Now then, let's just look at what we're doing with the top. Because if I sew it like that and put the lining on there, then when I turn it over, I've got the frill trapped in it, and I want the frill to be like that. So I should have folded the ends of the frill over, really. Never mind. Okay. Sorry, bear with me a sec while I put my thinking cap on. Yeah, that needed to have been turned over. Not to worry. In fact, we'll do that. We'll do it this way. So let's put the two pieces right sides together. And then I'm going to sew from this side because I can see where the stitches are. We're going to sew all the way around. So just keep the frill out of the way there. And keeping the frill nice and neat in the corner again, just so it's not doubling back on itself and getting caught in the seam line. Out you go, out the way. And into this corner. And again, just folding that frill out of the way. Like so. Right, now we can turn this the right side out and you get the idea as to how the bag's looking. So we have this. That's right, isn't it? Right, so before I put that in, I should have folded the ends over. So they would be folded in and sewn across the top so they're not going to fray, but that's not the, I can still do it with that one. Not the end of the world. And then with the lining, I'm going to do that in the same way. So let's, but leave a gap in the bottom so I can turn it the right side out. Oh, I'm still on a long stitch, aren't I? Like so. It's the cotton canvas, I think, that's the main part of the bag that I'm making. And I think that gives it a really expensive look. It looks like really expensive fabric, doesn't it? It's not. It's only £3.99 for half a metre. Right, so I'm just going to leave a gap here. And you get lots. So you could, a bag of this size, you could probably get 4 out of that half metre length. But it's nice to mix them together, isn't it? Different colours and prints and different textures of fabrics. Contradictions in textures, I think, are really nice. Right, now then. Handles. Navy works, actually, doesn't it? So we have all of these different colours for you to choose from. I've made a right mess, haven't I, in here? So navy, I think I'm going to use on this one. We'll just put some short handles on there. So you'll have a metre strip. So you can have one longer strap or 2 more handles shapes instead of straps, which is what I'm going to do there. So they're going to face downwards like that. So that's the navy. And it's easy to sew through as well, so don't worry about sewing. And it's only £2.99. So I'm just looking for some fabric clips. Oh, well, I'll just have to use mine, won't I? So do go with me while I just get a couple of clips, because you may find it difficult to pin. So that's going to go there like that, and that's going to go in there like that. We do have different colours available for you as well. So that's the navy, but we've also got the brown, the tan and the burgundy. Have a look on the website. They're all £2.99 for a metre, but they are pre-cut 1 metre lengths. So I'm just going to sew that in place there, just within the seam allowance. If you've got a denim needle, that may help, because we're sewing through quite a lot of layers of fabric at the moment. So if your machine's not as powerful as this one, then your needle may help. So that's there. And then the other handle goes on the opposite side, again facing downwards. So I'm just matching that up against the previous one. Make sure that's not twisted. So we've got that, and we'll sew those in place from that side. Could have used the free arm. My machine doesn't have a free arm, so I'll just get used to working without it. And I do miss it. Right, so that's that. Now then, I'm going to unpick some of the side seam here and just take out the frill. So my frill isn't going to start from the very top, and that gets away with the fact that I should have folded the ends of the frill over. But also, when I'm sewing the lining into the bag, I want to sew all the way around the top. So I don't want the frill incorporated into it, otherwise it's going to do that. And it actually looks like I meant to do it like this as well, so that's another reason why I'm doing it. So let's just fold that over there. So I just need to undo a little bit of the gathering. Like so. So my frill can start there. A bit more. Nothing like making it up as you go. Right. Okay, so that's given me my seam allowance around the top. So we'll do the same on this side. That's not very straight, Deborah. So that goes in there like so. And again, I've got seam allowance. So I just need to re-sew that seam, trapping that in there with my seam allowance at the top. In you go. Like so, and then the same on the other side, so my frill doesn't quite come up to the top, and I might hand sew that. So the same on this side, so just tuck that in to make it neat, and I'm just going to re-sew over that side seam here. Love stuff like this. What I love, the reason that I like making so many bags isn't because I use so many bags. I like figuring things out. I like the maths behind it, and I just find it so satisfying when you work out how to do something like this, because I've never done this before. So that's that, and there's my lining. So I'm going to drop the outside of the bag inside the lining, so the right sides are together. So there's a lot of fabric going on there, but that's okay. So we just move all of this out of the way. Line up the side seams. I'm going to tuck this frill out of the way as well, because I don't want to sew over that. And then, whoops, and then we're going to sew all the way around the top. And let's use the free arm, seeing as we've got one. Right, so frill out of the way, side seams meeting. Over you go, and so. So if it was a bigger bag, I'd maybe pin this, but I think we're okay with this one. So just over those faux leather straps. And again, this machine, it's a powerful machine, so it's got a big motor in it. And even though I'm using just a standard needle, universal needle, it's the machine that's forcing that through the fabric. If you've got a lesser machine at home, shall we say, then again, you might need a denim needle. As round we go, again over the strap, and we're almost done. I think Hannah might have a new handbag. Back to the beginning, and then we'll turn it the right side out and see if it's worked. Not so shabby. So let's sew the opening closed here. And here you go. Oops, and oh, come on in. Normally, when you pull the ends of the opening tight, it rolls the edge of the fabric in, so you can just sew straight over there. Okay, so you can go back on there. I'm going to push the lining inside. That needs a good old press and a blast of steam. And all of these bits need to go. And that's your bag finished. These open ends, I'm going to hand sew those so you don't see the stitches. So I'll just do a little stitch across the top there and across there. And I think you've got your designer bag, Hannah. A little bit of top stitching around there would work. Could have had a pocket on the front, that would look nice. So maybe something that kind of size. And then maybe use some of the extra fabric to put a frill across the top of there. So you can do what you like. So that's that. Hope you enjoyed it. Quite pleased with that. That was a good challenge, Debbie, Hannah. Thank you very much. I used the template. To be honest, you don't need a template to make that. But there are 15 different styles. That's not a very good salesperson's job, is it? You don't need this. Oh, Rosie. Oh, I'm sorry. What is Rosie on the floor? She's embarrassed, look. Rosie Rabbit's coming up next with Rachel. This is the Tote Bags book. Again, you get 2 templates. You can join them together to make bigger bags. The book comes out of the folder as well. And it's I think they're really good books for those of you that are just starting to sew. So I tried to keep as many pictures as I can and keep everything very well explained with no jargon, using all of the kind of materials that you can buy right here on Sewing Street. So you don't need anything special. All you need is a sewing machine that'll do a straight stitch, and a zipper foot would be helpful, and you're away. But then you can take those 15 designs and create some of your own. So there's probably an awful lot more than 15 designs in there. And then you've got a nice little pouch for your templates to sit in there. It's not signed. It's not signed. I was, just checking, because you get an awful lot more on eBay for them when they're signed. I use the navy faux webbing, but we do have other colours for you. So we've got the chocolate, which is the dark brown. Just move that out of the way so you can see. And again, these are pre-cut in 1 metre length. So that was cut in half. If you wanted 1 long strap, or if you wanted 2 long straps, just order 2. And that is a really good price as well. So classic, that would be nice with that, wouldn't it? That would make a nice smart bag, wouldn't it? So £2.99 is your price for that. So whether it's a handbag or a travel bag or even a belt. You have to be tiny waisted though, wouldn't you? And that's £2.99. Again, then we've got the caramel option for you as well, which is this. That goes nicely with that as well. Just classic colours, aren't they? And again, that's £2.99. And it looks like leather, but they're not. And then, ooh, burgundy, how's about that? So it's an inch wide, which will go very well with your rectangle rings if they're 1 inch and 1 inch sliders and things like that. And it's £2.99 for a metre. Those are pre-cut though, so if you order 2, you'll get 2 separate 1 metre pieces. Let me just give you a reminder of the tweeds while we're here. So this is your Manhattan, which is the one that has a little bit of sparkle to it. So I'm thinking Chanel style jackets. I think that would look lovely. Or, you know how they use like selvages that have a fringe on them? I wonder if you can fray that. That would look nice. No, it's a waffle weave, so it's not going to fray very easily, but that would look nice, wouldn't it? But you can't do that. But it's got a very delicate sparkle. So it's not overtly evening time, but that would make a nice evening coat, wouldn't it? But I'd wear that daytime. A short boxy jacket in that I think would look really nice. We have the Hunter's Tweed. So really classic, I'm thinking waistcoats with this one. Waistcoats and skirts or trousers. I would put a lining in it though, not just to help it keep its shape, but it could be a little bit itchy. Oh, that one's the Hunter's Tweed. That one, I definitely a skirt. Nice smart skirt with that one. It's got a little bit of pink running through it as well, so you could pick up on that with warmer tones. And then this is the final one. This is my waistcoat and skirt fabric. £8.99 is for your half a metre, and they're 140 centimetres wide. And these are by the half metre, which means that if you wanted to go for more, then you just order more and it all comes in one big long piece. Look who's coming up next. Are you shy? Hello. Here she is. So this is coming up in the next hour. She has friends in the book as well. Hiya. Hello. We have the bundles to make her, and we have the book that she's from as well. Look, she's asleep. Oh, it's hard work being on the telly, ain't it, Rose? So Rachel's back again in the next hour, so do stay with us if you can. You've got a couple of minutes to go and put the kettle on if you like, have a quick cup of tea, and we'll see you again when I've tidied up in a couple of minutes.
Hello, I'm Catherine Wright. I'm from Leicestershire Craft Centre, which is based in Market Harborough. I love all kinds of sewing, but probably my favourite thing to do is dressmaking. But I also teach patchwork and free motion embroidery and anything to do with textiles really. I love to have a go at felting and crochet and knitting and, oh, you name it, I'll have a go at it. So I started sewing when I was 7. My mum taught me to sew, and the very first thing I made was an apron. But I'm a terribly impatient person. I just want to get on with the project. So I didn't wait for her to help me cut it out, and I cut it out myself, and I didn't know you had to have a seam allowance. So I made the world's smallest apron, and my mum still has it somewhere. So sewing tips, I would say, I teach a lot of people to sew, especially beginners, and I would say don't get disheartened, take your learning journey slowly. Don't expect to suddenly make a ball gown or suddenly make a king size quilt. Build up your skills, you know, slowly. And I would also say the iron is your friend. Use your iron a lot. It makes your sewing look so much better. It helps you get things in place where you want it before you sew, and is a really handy thing to have.
Hi, I'm Rosie Wells. My name's Poppy and I'm a nutritional therapist.
Hi, I'm Ruth Lynette and I can't wait to join you all on the brand new Gemporia Lifestyle channel.
If you're a fan of primal living, you're going to adore what's around the corner.
What is lifestyle? Lifestyle is healthy habits.
Feeling good, it's about looking great.
Making sure that we're taking good care of ourselves inside.
And it's about the life that you lead and the home that you live in.
All of this is why I'm so excited. We've got the most wonderful team.
Homeware deals and Primal deals under one roof on one channel.
I can't wait to share this brand new channel with you. So we'll see you soon on Gemporia Lifestyle.
Gemporia Lifestyle, coming soon to Freeview Channel 74 and gemporia.com.
Shopping with us couldn't be easier. If you want to shop online, then you can head to our website, www.sewingstreet.com. It will redirect you to our sister channel Jewellery Makers landing page. Don't worry, you haven't gone to the wrong place. We're simply using their website temporarily while we're building our own web shop. Scroll down past the Watch Live part and you'll see all of the products that you will have seen on air on today's live show. You can also shop our catalogue by clicking a category, clicking a product to view closer, and adding it to your basket. Once you're ready to check out, you will need to create an account, which is absolutely free to do so, but it will mean that you can check out on as many orders as you want throughout the day with still only paying one postage and packaging. If you'd prefer to speak to somebody in our UK-based customer service team, then you can do so via the free telephone line number 0800 001 4433. They will not only help you create an account, but will also help you with any of your online shopping.
If you love sewing, then you need the UK's favourite sewing magazine. Every month, you'll receive exclusive patterns. Follow simple step-by-step guides suitable for all skill levels to make your own stunning clothes, accessories and more, together with inspiring tips and tricks from industry experts. Join in and discover your love for sewing. Try Love Sewing today and get your first 3 issues for just £6.
Welcome back again. Now in this hour we're going to be looking at Rosie Rabbit, and Rachel's back with us again and she's going to be taking you through some of the details, how you're going to make her. She's so sweet, and we've put together a couple of bundles for you as well so you can make your own just like this one at home. Before we go into the bundles that we've made for you and the book that this has come from, we've got some needle grippers. If you haven't seen these before, these are absolutely invaluable if you're sewing through thick fabrics and you just can't get a grip on your needle, because they lock in place. So they look a little bit like a pair of scissors, but they're not. They've got a grippy bit like teeth inside here, and they lock. So you can actually grab hold of I haven't got a needle, but you can grab hold of maybe pins that you find difficult to remove from something, and these lock. So now you can give it a good old pull and get that pin out, and you can never do that. And particularly if maybe you've been gluing, or these pins, I use flower head pins a lot, and I'll use them to hold things in place, like if I'm gluing some trim around a chair or a stool, if I'm doing some upholstery. But once you get the needle in that glue, and I tend to use the Gitterman HT2 glue, it doesn't come out, and invariably you'll pull and pull and pull till the plastic end comes off, and then you're just left with a very sharp piece of metal that is impossible to pull because your fingers are going to be too slippery to do it. These needle grippers are amazing for that. They just grab hold of it, you lock them on so you're not using force from your hands or anything. They lock here, and then you can pull out those small little shards almost of metalwork from your work. On the other extreme, if you're trying to push a needle into something, maybe you're sewing through leathers or very heavy, very thick fabrics, then use this to push through, because again you don't want to be pushing the end of that through your needle, through your finger. And not everybody gets on very well with thimbles, to be honest. I like a leather thimble myself, and I'll use some of those little clover rubbery thimbles to pull through, but there's nothing like a pair of needle grips for the strength to push through or pull through your needles. So again, it's only £8.19. What it's also really good for, because we're talking toy making, is to put your stuffing into skinny limbs. So like with our bunny, or if you've got Tilda dolls, when you're stuffing, you use tiny bits at a time, because if you've got a big clump of stuffing, you're going to push it all to the end and it'll be in a big knot. And as you're stuffing and as you're sewing, that knot slides back up again and you end up with an empty bit at the end. So tiny bits of toy filler and push them right down to the end. You can pick up your toy filler, lock it, and then push right down to the end and then unlock, and you do that simply by bending them, open them out, and your toy filler's in place down there. It's a lot more accurate placement of toy filler than it would be if you're just shoving it down there with a knitting needle. Now they're £8.90 again. I think you'll find them invaluable. And it's nice to have them on the show. Just back in again, and we do have quite a lot of stock of those, so which is a good thing. What was the official name of these? We're calling them needle gripper, but they have got a proper name. It's the one that sounded like hemostats. That's the one. It's the kind of thing you see in a surgeon's arsenal, isn't it? But I'm not talking about that because that's not very PC, is it? Okay. The book that Rosie came from is a Fat Quarter Toys book. And I think a lot of these are going to have skinny limbs. So this is only £12.99. And in here, you've got lots of friends for Rosie. Oh, look. Oh. Right, what have we got? A busy book. Things to keep the kids occupied with. Stocking blocks, pay mats, blankets. Want to get to the no. Oh, there's a picture frame for you. Topsy-turvy mouse. Oh, I used to have a doll that did that. So it's a mouse at one. That cat's actually got a mouse up its skirt. So 2 toys in one. You've got a little ballerina, the Miss Kitty doll, the robots. Oh, he's cute. A hunky monkey. A hungry little pigger. Piggy. Honestly, Deborah. That's Sydney the dog. There's Rosie, look. We've got fish. Little cats. Betty Bird. Ursula the unicorn. We've got the mermaid, pineapple. There's so much in here, isn't there? A huggable ukulele. Shoot for the stars. We've got games, noughts and crosses. We've got 4 in a row. And then your stitches, and of course at the back you've got your patterns. Now these patterns you're going to need your light box for, I think, so that you can trace them all off, because you don't want to be cutting up your book. And because they're laid over the top of each other, you can only cut one out at a time. So it'd be a good idea to trace those. I do like the way they're all in different colours though, so you can actually see them, because some things can be quite confusing. So you've got a really nice little book there, with an RRP of £16.99, just saying, you know, for just £12.99. I think you're going to really enjoy making those projects. But if you're going to start off making Rosie the Rabbit, we've got some bundles for you. So the colour option that Rachel used here, we have here. So you've got 4 fat quarters and pink and black embroidery threads. I'm going to have a little sleep. So yeah, so your features are going to be a little bit louder, but use this for something else if you want it soft like that one. So again, you've got 4 fat quarters here, and that, and a big bag of toy filling. So you're going to be able to make an awful lot more just than Rosie with that one. So you've got that 250 grams, yep, about 250 grams in there, which is a nice size. And it's UK made, washable, and it's not going to shrink. So it's great for making toys out of too. Now these fat quarters have been especially cut for us just for this project. So that's a bit special, isn't it? So it's not a fat quarter bundle that you're going to be able to find on the website. This has purely been put together for Rosie, and you don't even know because you're asleep. Wake up! And then the second, on TV for the first time, not a clue. Heavy sleeper. So the second bundle we have are these. So again, you've got the black and the pink embroidery thread, but then we've got this really pretty floral. You've got the spots for her legs again, and the flesh coloured and rabbit coloured, and the floral as well. So that one for the body maybe, and that one for the skirt, and the spots for the ears and the legs, and that for the rest. You can have loads left over from those, aren't you? And again, put together specially for us, just for you, and you don't even know. And you're going to need toy filler included in that as well. So right, so that's what we have. Remember, the kits or the bundles don't come with the book because you might have the book already. But if you do want it, it's £12.99. It's really busy for the book. So if you're going to order that one, that'll be rather quick. It's a nice book, isn't it? It's nice pictures and easily explained, and lots of patterns, and a quarter of our entire stock has sold out. So go place your order. If you're not sure how to do that, let's go over to Vix and she'll give you the details.
Shopping with us couldn't be easier. If you want to shop online, then you can head to our website, www.sewingstreet.com. It will redirect you to our sister channel Jewellery Makers landing page. Don't worry, you haven't gone to the wrong place. We're simply using their website temporarily while we're building our own web shop. Scroll down past the Watch Live part and you'll see all of the products that you will have seen on air on today's live show. You can also shop our catalogue by clicking a category, clicking a product to view closer, and adding it to your basket. Once you're ready to check out, you will need to create an account, which is absolutely free to do so, but it will mean that you can check out on as many orders as you want throughout the day with still only paying one postage and packaging. If you'd prefer to speak to somebody in our UK-based customer service team, then you can do so via the free telephone line number 0800 001 4433. They will not only help you create an account, but will also help you with any of your online shopping.
So welcome back again, and to you, Rachel. You had a cup of tea, have you?
Oh, it was lovely. It was a cup of coffee actually, but
coffee,
lovely. Nothing but a cup of coffee just to go whoop. I'm on again in 10 minutes.
I do that every Sunday morning. It's a problem.
Yeah.
Right. So where are we going to start with our
Okay.
rabbit?
What we're going to do with Rosie Rabbit? I'm sorry, it looks a bit of an accident here, with her legs and her arms strewn about. Sorry, Rosie. I thought she looked quite asleep just a minute ago because she'd done so much skiing with Yanni earlier. It puffed her out. You puff anybody out, hopefully. Also, it's a Sunday. Anyway, with Rosie Rabbit, what I always do, as people know, is I photocopy the actual pattern pieces because they are easier to see when you do that.
Okay.
So obviously you've got 4 arms because remember for each arm you've got 2 sides. And then you've got your legs, so you've got 4 legs, right? And then you've got 4 ears, so it's really straightforward.
Did you find the book quite easy to use?
Oh, incredibly! Yeah,
there's some nice projects in there, aren't there?
Yeah, it's just like pieces of puzzle, really, and just putting it all together. But I love making little toys, really, because they're quick to make, and they just look gorgeous. I mean, look at her. I mean, she's lovely. Oh, excuse me. Oh, that's it, see? She can see you all now. See?
Well, she's got her eyes shut, so she can't see anything, really.
Well, it's very true, yes. I could have had her winking, couldn't I?
That would have been nice.
One eye open and one eye closed. Like that, but all wide awake. Like that.
That was a surprise.
I know. So we've got 2 body pieces. And obviously one head, but obviously you cut 2 heads. But on one of them, you've got if I just show it in there, you've got the shapes of the eyes, cheeks and nose, where you've got to embroider. Okay.
Right, yeah.
Now, what I do, if you don't have a light box, obviously a light box would be the best thing to have. But if you don't have one, what I always do is I just put that in black ink, so it makes it really, really stand out. And then what you can do, you can actually put the face, the fabric over the top and actually just trace it.
Okay.
Which is what I did here earlier, Blue Peter. And but with mine, you can put it in a little ring, little embroidery hoop, like such. It just keeps it really, really solid whilst you're embroidering. Because if you don't do that, you'll find it just all, you know, all sort of rucks up.
Yeah.
So
we've got hoops on the website in different sizes if you need them.
Yeah, and they're really good investment as well, because you can use them for other projects as well. Sorry about my dress slipping down. I've lost tons of weight. Right, so we've traced out the head. So I've already stuck on her cheeks. So these are just little scraps that I've used, and the book also says you can use some scraps. So you just cut out little peach circles for her cheeks, a little pink heart. She has got a bit of a a bit like that.
She's sniffing. That's what rabbits do.
Like that, but she's still really cute. So I'm going to take my embroidery needle, which obviously got a bigger eye, and then I'm going to now with these skeins you do have to cut 3. You have to take off 3, so obviously this would be too thick. So each of these embroidery threads do come as 6 strands.
Okay, you're getting black and pink.
Yeah.
In your set, but obviously if you've got
these are
that
just
you
little scraps that I had at home, but as Debbie says, the kit does come with them. So you just peel off 3, but don't do it too quick because it just knots up at the end. There we go. There's your 3. Put it through your eye. Oh no, not literally. Sorry. When Gary had an operation, when he went to the opticians once, and he said he'd never been properly to an optician, and he said to me, well, what do they do? And I said, they'll just lay you on the bed, and I said the needles just come down like that. But I said, so just keep your eyes open. I said it really won't hurt. I'm not having needles in my eyes. He said. If he's watching, you remember, don't you, Gary? I do have him on sometimes. Right.
This time
it's going to happen. There we go. Hooray. So you just put a little knot in the end. There we go. So we're just going to start from the eye. And as you embroider across, obviously you've got the little eyelashes, so I'm going to see if I can do it this opposite way round.
You can do it the right way.
Can I? Will people see?
Yep.
See, she's a professional. That's the difference with working with a professional, isn't it?
Oh, you know.
I know. Right. So first eyelash. That's it. So you just work your way along there. In between these, I would do 2 little stitches in between, because then you get a really nice curve of her eye.
It's a nice little project for kids as well, isn't it? If you're teaching someone how to sew.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, you know, obviously needles come in all, you know, got bigger eyes like I've got on there, which is a blunter end, or you can get little plastic needles, can't you, for children? Oh, I've unthreaded my thread.
Dawn's messaged in. She says she loved the bag. Thank you very much. Pam's been using a pattern from a book with the bag with the big bow, and made it minus the bow and inserted a zip fastening. And she put a picture on there as well. Thank you for that. And Alan's just been really busy doing everything.
Oh wow!
Alan never stops.
And who is Alan? He's a dressmaker, is he? Or?
He does dressmaking. He's very good at making V-neck tops.
Is he now?
Yes, he can make ties, he can make bags, he can make bin covers.
Wow, Alan.
He can make double tablet cases. And he says, can I sell any bags I make from your Builder Bag books? You sell as many as you like, Alan. Go and make yourself some money out of it.
That's really generous, actually, isn't it, Debbie? Because not everybody is like that, are they, with their patterns?
I just think, you know, you're going to go and spend £10 or £15 on a book. If you can make your money back from that, then you're more likely to come back and buy another book, aren't you?
Well, you are, but also people are going to go out with those items, aren't they? And they'll say, oh, where'd you get? Oh, I made it.
Yes.
Oh, where's the pattern of that? Oh, in Debbie's book.
Yeah.
Especially if you go to a cheese and wine party. Oh, no, we shouldn't go back on that again now, should we, from last time?
Yeah, forget the cheese.
Yeah, forget the cheese. I think the funniest thing that we said, Debbie, apart from Slim Jim, was about your chickens laying eggs, and whatever they eat, their eggs taste like that. And I dreamt of an egg tasting of whiskey.
You can't feed them whiskey.
No, I woke up with quite a headache, actually.
Sozzled poultry.
I know. You imagine that, though. To feed them chicken curry.
It works.
Yeah, they'd soon run across the yard, wouldn't they? Right, there we go then. So there's one eye. I won't do both of them because obviously it's a little bit boring to watch that all the time. So there's the eye.
I just spent 20 minutes gathering a length of fabric. Talk about boring things to watch.
Oh, did you? Right, there we go. So there's one. And just double knot it at the back. I'd normally neaten that off a little bit better than that usually. Although because you're going to stuff it, it won't really show. So then I've got like the light brown, but obviously in here you've got the black. I've then also got a little bit of peach. Oh, just going down to the cellar, sorry. Right, I only got that off of Debbie before and I thought, that sounds funny, I'm going to say that next time.
Yeah, there's a whole load of staff down there. They're on their lunch break at the moment, so we're getting kitchen smells wafting up from the
I know. I've got all stuck beef burgers on the end of my shoe and chips. No, I haven't really. Bit of tomato sauce.
We've got a kitchen in our new studio, you know.
Have we? Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
I don't know if it was. There are 2 kitchens. There's 3 Oh, that's just greedy. Apparently there's one kitchen on the set, there's one in a cupboard, and there's one in a doorway. What do you need 3 kitchens for? Obviously we have a choice of chefs. So we have one kitchen for meat eaters and one for vegetarians, because you're not supposed to cross-contaminate, are you? And then there'll be another one, because we can.
Well, another one for the cheese and wine parties.
Oh, that'll be it. Yes, yeah.
To store your cheese.
Champagne and canapé.
Absolutely.
I'm thinking.
Right, so I'm doing the cheeks now. So I'm just following round, just really simply with just like a in-out stitch. I'm sure there's a more technical name for that. Like a little running stitch. That's the one. So I'm just going to go round the outside of the little cheeks, but it does make a difference because it just brings out the cheeks, as you can see on that one. So let's just go round with that.
Shall I give you the details of the bundle while you're just doing that?
You can do indeed. These are really pretty fabrics.
They're lovely, aren't they?
Beautiful.
So this is the one that Rose is actually made out of here. So we've got the skirt fabric. These are all fat quarters as well, and you're not going to use all of the fat quarters. I bet you've got quite a bit left over. Do you think there's enough to make 2 roses? Because I'm kind of thinking you could maybe make one with this as the skirt, and then another one with this as the body, and that one as a skirt. She's got no pants on.
I know. I nearly made her some, as it's Sunday. We all wear knickers on Sundays, don't we? Our best knickers.
I'm sorry.
Your best frilly knickers.
She's very...
Mind you, if you were like Debbie's football coach that they gave her all some knickers.
They were very posh knickers.
Absolutely. Pull yourself together, Deb. I just had a bit of an error of the fabric placement there. Sorry.
She's very well coiffed, shall we say?
I was trying to think of something funny to
not
say
to beat
then,
around the
but
bush.
it might come out wrong. Oh, I'm beating. Oh, you have got hedge trimmers there, haven't you? I'm sorry. I'm just.
Just be careful where you
Move on.
where you put your. It could have been worse. It could have been a hedgehog.
It could have been worse.
She's very tidy, I have to say.
Tidy.
So you've got the skirt fabric, and you've got the body fabric, the plain and the spot, and there's a fat quarter of each of those for your £16.99, and your embroidery threads are included as well.
I can't believe I did that. But it was totally innocent.
What have you done at the back? Oh, she's got a hedgehog on a bum.
See, Debbie can't just leave it there, can she? She has to say what's round at the back. Keep going whilst you can, Debbie.
I do fear for my job, to be honest.
See, I knew we'd laugh this afternoon in my second half.
The third of the stock of the book is sold out as well. That's not in the bundle.
Wow.
So if you want the book on its own,
Do you
then
know,
it's only £12.99.
I've just had a good idea. Sorry to interrupt,
Yeah.
Debbie. That's very rude. I'm sorry.
She's so rude.
Yeah,
that
sorry.
So rude.
Sorry. Right. What I was thinking of was obviously get the Tilda fabric to make this because it really is beautiful. I've got another idea.
Yeah.
Like you get memory bears.
Yes.
You could make these little Rosie Rabbits and use people's clothing.
That's a nice idea.
Couldn't you?
Yeah.
That's a lovely idea of mine,
Yes,
isn't
it is.
Yeah. Just a thought. So I think that's brilliant. We were going to talk about schools as well, weren't we, Debbie?
Should we talk about schools?
Yeah, funny things kids normally say, wouldn't they? See how I lead?
Clean?
I'm not professional, but that's a lead.
See what you did there.
See what I did there? Do you know, somebody else just said that. Then there's an echo in here, you know. Well, going back to my school days, you get little kids and they're asked to do little projects and they write a story and they draw a little picture to go with the story. And the teacher on parents' evening, they put a big frieze up all around the classroom with all the little children sticky on stories and pictures. Well, I did one when I was 5 and my parents were very embarrassed. Do you want to know?
What?
Yes, we want to know. Right, basically, my mum and dad, you ask questions of your mum and dad, don't you? And I said, what's a babysitter? What is a babysitter? And my dad said, well, you get a great big fat baby and you sit on its tummy. What did I do? I believed him. And what did I do? I went to school and I said, this is what a babysitter is. You get a big fat baby and you sit on its tummy. And I drew this picture of this big fat baby with a great big tummy.
And it got put on the wall?
Oh, it was, yeah. Mum and Dad, they were horrified. But more horrifying was one mum's birthday one year. My dad bought her a pair of suspenders. Ooh. Well, in those days, they weren't like the itsy bitsy ones. They were like the great big ones that came up here, with all the boning and great big dangly bits, which I thought were fascinating. And so in the next parents' evening, the story was, for my mum's birthday, my dad bought her some suspenders and I drew them with all the little holes in the bottom where they go up to the stockings. And imagine my poor mum and dad, honestly. That is really true. But they did laugh. I wasn't being naughty.
So what funny school stories have you got at home? How did you embarrass your parents when you were 5?
Let's have all the school stories. I wonder how funny would that be? I told you that my mum and dad were foster parents anyway. Obviously, that's how I came to be adopted. And every year they used to have a child from an orphanage, actually, in Woking. And to stay for the summer holidays, just to give them a little bit of holiday. And being in Woking, there was obviously quite a big community of black people. And this little boy, I always remember him, Lloyd, he came to stay with us for the 6 weeks. And when you think about it, that must have been quite frightening for him, mustn't he? Sort of like white, whereas we don't think about it now, do we? Everybody's, you know, the same as everybody else. And this little boy came round. Of course, I was quite blonde as a child with loads of freckles, and we were all playing out in the garden, and Lloyd suddenly hid behind the deck chair. And Mum said to him, "Well, what are you hiding behind there for, Lloyd?" He said, "Because I don't want to get freckles."
Oh, oh, like they catch him.
He was so terrified he was going to look like me. So, I mean, who would, really? That was quite funny. Right, so there's her nose. So once you've done round all the nose, round there, just come up here, and there's her little mouth. No.
You could do little French knot freckles round her nose.
You could, or you could put little white teeth.
Yeah, oh, that'd be nice.
Couldn't you?
Yeah.
See how many little ideas you could have just to make it your own.
You could use maybe a couple of chenille sticks and make her ears stand up.
Yes. What are chenille sticks?
Pipe cleaners. We don't call them pipe cleaners anymore.
We call them pipe cleaners where we come from.
I can see you with the pipe.
Yeah. All right, there we go. I had a funny feeling this was going to go awry this afternoon.
I'd be disappointed if it didn't.
Absolutely, so would I.
Awry Sunday. That's what we should call the shows.
I think to myself, what's gone wrong, Rach? I will have to update people as well. Gary has texted me just to say he's feeling a little bit better today.
Good.
Which is brilliant. And he said thank you for all your messages. It's helping him feel a bit more positive.
Aww.
So that is really sweet, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, so we're just getting to the end of her mouth there.
Can I just do a recap?
You certainly can.
Finishing off. So, the second bundle that we have is this one. So you'll have, again, 4 fat quarters, and this time we've got the peachy colour, so these are really pretty. So we've got the peachy flowers, and the spot, and the flesh coloured, and the ditzy. But again, you're going to have lots left over, aren't you? Because there's a fat quarter. There's less than 20 of each one of the bundles left now. You do get your embroidery thread as well. If you wanted to use paler colours like Rachel has done here, then of course you can do. But you do get these included anyway in your price. So you'll need to order your book for the pattern and everything. This is purely the bundle of fabric that's going to need to make it. Oh, you get the toy stuffing as well. Sorry, you do get that as well. It takes up so much space, I put it out the way and then I forgot about it. But you do get the toy filler included as well. And then the bundle that Rosie is made out of here is this one. So again, 4 fat quarters of your fabric, which are those, and your thread, and you've got your toy filler included as well for just £16.99.
So what I'm doing here now, I'm just cutting this interfacing off. So obviously we don't want all this excess round, and the interfacing was just there just to hold it firm on the little hoop.
Right.
So just cut roughly round there, because it doesn't matter because you won't be able to see it. There we go, all cut off. And obviously when she's got her other eye there.
So she's winking now.
She is winking, like that. Right? She's already looking quite sweet, isn't she? So the next stage is what I would do is I would make all your pieces of Rosie Rabbit first. So you obviously make its arms and its legs. And like Debbie said, good tip is that you just put a little bit of stuffing in there at a time, and then you can get it right down in the bottom. Okay. Now another good tip is that when you actually when you get at the top, don't fill it right up at the top. Okay, because when you start sewing it to the body of the doll, you won't be able to get the needle of the machine in there to sew it inside the seam.
Okay.
So I would leave slightly more than what they say in the book actually. Oh. And it doesn't matter if it's slightly floppy because your arm goes like that, doesn't it? You don't go like that, do you? Well, hopefully not. So that's her head done. So now what we're going to do is we're going to join her head to her body. So right sides together. Let me move it up a bit so you can see. I just think everybody's got long necks and they can see, Debbie. That's right. So right sides together. All right, so onto the machine and stitch it across. And 1/4 of an inch. Okay, most toy making you would actually use 1/4 of an inch.
So we've had a message from Marie. Hi, Marie. Oh, sorry, Maureen. Sorry, hi, Maureen. Yeah, a school story. She's got a school story. Right.
Oh, yep.
She says, my son drew me a picture of me laying on the sofa.
Yeah.
With a flannel over my head.
Oh, no.
And a bucket on the floor.
Oh.
It was a hangover.
Oh, no.
Just here's Mummy with a hangover.
Oh, no. No. What did he put on? They say Mummy always goes out for a drink at the weekend. She always comes back like this, and this is what she looks like in the mornings. You love them, don't you, these kids?
I was just thinking there's a ballerina in here. You could actually make the ballerina skirt.
Do you know,
for Rosie, couldn't you?
We think so much alike, don't we? Honestly, I did think of that myself, how sweet that would be.
Yeah, even the little ballet shoes, you could maybe.
Yeah, you could easily make some little felt shoes and just pop it onto the end of her feet. That's a brilliant idea. Monkey. So here's 1/4 of an inch seam again. Right sides together with the back of the head. So there we have a front and a back. I'm glad to say there's no fabric placements issues on this one. I can't believe I didn't even think about it. So right, so we've got the two halves of the bodies back and front, okay? Right. So now the next thing that we do is the ears. So I'm just going to give those a little press because obviously you don't press the ears. Sorry, you don't fill the ears, sorry. You just give them a press because they've got to be floppy, don't they?
Yeah.
Right. So what you do on this as well is that you just fold it over just to the middle there, just to cause a little crease. Just adds a little bit of dimension to the ears.
Yeah.
You can see on that but make sure you do it the opposite side on the second ear. There we go. And what I would do is I would just give it a quick stitch just to hold that in place because we're going to stitch it onto the head. You need to just do a little running stitch, that's all. There we go, that's one ear. In one ear and out the other. Did your mum and dad used to say that to you?
Yep.
When you were being told off, it just goes in one ear and out the other.
You treat this place like a hotel and turn that music down. I don't understand a word they're saying.
Turn that row off.
I'm bored. Take your shoes and socks off and play with your toes.
Oh, I was never told to do that.
We're not.
Sorry, Debbie.
I know.
It's dreadful.
It's affected me all my life.
Oh, my goodness gracious
Very
me.
well played with toes,
It's affected me. Right, so what we do now, because you've got to remember when you sew this round, you're going to have a little seam. All right?
Okay.
So also on the head, here, even here. She moves around this bunny.
Bullseye.
Yeah, bullseye. So right at the top of the head, you know when I said that we trace through the the head and the eyes and the cheeks and everything, right at the top of there, you also put 2 little markers there. That's where the ears go.
Okay.
All right. So that's one little ear there. And the ears are meant, when you pin them on, it looks as though they're crossing over.
Right.
Something like that. Just like that. Right, so we just pin the other one there. Do you know the funniest joke I've ever heard of?
Or was it clean?
Oh, I only tell clean ones, you know
okay.
that, on the television. Well, the funniest joke I heard of, it was actually the late, is that, I've just said,
Tommy Cooper.
Tommy Cooper, that's it. And he said, a friend of mine went to the doctors and he says, doctor, he says, I can't put my arm up like that. And the doctor said, well, don't do it then. The one-liners are the funniest, aren't they, really? They really are. Right. Don't do it then. Right. So we got right sides together. See, the giggles are starting now, see?
That's what Sundays are for.
Absolutely.
I like to have a giggle on a Sunday.
Sewing fun. Right. So there's the little ears inside the rabbit, okay? So now we come to the arms, okay? So you pin everything on because you're going to sew just all the way round and just leave a little bit at the bottom. So what I always do is just position your arms, because you don't want your arms going like that, do you? You just want them going like that. Yeah, just like that. So then you just follow. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. So you do the slanty bit at the top, right at the top of the neck, and just pin that on. Okay? And then the other arm, exactly the same. But see, the reason why we don't fill it right at the top, because otherwise you wouldn't get your pin in and you're not going to get your machine in either.
Yeah.
So she's crossing her arms now as well. Oh, look.
It is a very cute little rabbit. I'm sure you could adapt it
she's
to make a
gorgeous.
little boy for her as well.
Oh, yes, without the pattern placement.
that could be, yeah.
Right, so just to secure that in place, because it is quite bulky, I'm just going to just sew that with a very, very narrow seam.
Don't forget you can send messages on Facebook as well. I keep checking. I'm not on the are you on the fans page? I'm not on the fans page. I'm on the other one.
Have we had any messages on the fans page this morning?
I'm just checking.
Yeah.
No, but we've had an email.
Oh.
Oh, from Shannon and Stevie. Hello, Shannon and Stevie.
Oh, that's, you know, I told you, my old school friends.
Oh, yeah.
And we met up again after about 45 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And she lives down in Bournemouth. And
they're admiring your handiwork and they're proud of you.
Oh, they're so sweet.
And sending best wishes to Gary as well.
Oh, yeah. I will do, Shannon and Stevie. Glad you're enjoying the show. There we go.
Oh, you're under. It's got a needle threader.
Does it? Oh, I hadn't noticed. Sorry, I was too late now. Obviously, you wouldn't use the needle threader at home. Right, that's it.
Half of the stock of the book sold out now, by the way. That's okay, still got half of the stock left. But half is now gone, so
wow.
I wouldn't leave that too much longer. £16.99 recommended retail price on that one. There are some nice projects in here, though.
So that's the arms there, look. So now we're going to... Oh, I'm sorry, Debbie.
No, that's all right. I'm just reading out loud.
Oh, I go off on a
camera's on
tangent.
you.
Oh, no.
I'm just chuntering away in the corner.
I forget somebody else is here. Oh, how awful. How awful. Right, so the legs, how we want them. We've got to position the legs. But I do like you. Right. Right, so how we've got to position these legs, we've got to turn them in so they look a bit sweeter, don't they, like that?
Oh,
See? Her legs have gone floppy from water skiing. So sit her back down there again. So once you know where they're going to go, all right, we then got to turn them up the other way. And then we've got
like a yoga position.
It is, yes.
I can do that.
I wasn't, no, Rachel, thought gone. Sunday. Right.
Yeah, she does have a little sleeping bag as well.
I know. I think you've got enough fabric to make that, actually.
Well, it looks like just a few odd strips of fabric. So.
Yeah, but you could mingle it all together, couldn't you? Right, so that's all the legs and the arms in there. Oh, I'm just going to secure that actually with some stitching, because otherwise it could move about, you see, and then you're in big trouble.
No, it's saying that you need 5 fat quarters.
Oh, maybe you won't have them. But if you bought two lots,
I think it's saying, there's no way that that's 5 fat quarters, is it? Because that's 1.25 meters fabric.
Yeah.
I think it's just because there's 5 different colours.
Maybe you just slice into it.
Yeah. So you would, I'm sure you'd be able to make that with your leftovers.
Yeah,
you just have 4 colours instead of 5.
Yeah.
Unless that's just a particularly big sleeping bag.
Well, it could be. Could be a sleeping bag for 2. Rosie Rabbit.
Yeah.
And Bobby Rabbit.
You could use your early bird for it as well. In fact, you can make another skirt. Maybe put some braces on it and a couple of buttons. Would be nice, wouldn't it?
Oh, that would be fab.
Yeah.
Make it some little jeans.
Yeah.
Build a bunny.
But yes. Well, she needs a party outfit. She needs a summer outfit. She'll need a Christmas outfit. She'll need a few hats as well. Oh, a straw hat with holes in it would be cute, wouldn't it?
I've just thought of something.
What?
I'm very excited, I've got to tell you. A bride and a groom.
Yeah, oh, that would be nice. Oh, a little wedding dress. And a top
Yeah. Because they probably will be bunnies afterwards, won't they? Sunday, Rachel's. Right. So arms in there, legs in there. Oh, let's put the legs on top. And the arms underneath. Oh dear. It's hot in here, isn't it? Right, where's a pin? Right, so just put a pin in, and it just make sure you've got all of this inside. It is actually quite complicated. Well, not complicated, but it's fiddly. But it's worth just spending the little time. And I've got a funny feeling I did half and half, actually, when I made her, because it was easier to get the legs and the arms all in one place.
I tell you what would have been easier, and I'm not one to knock anybody's pattern making. Leave the arms and legs unstuffed with a little gap. Yes. And then stuff them and then just hand sew the opening. So you'd still fold all the legs inside and everything, but you wouldn't have the bulk there then.
Yeah, that's what makes it a bit complicated, because obviously we like to follow the patterns as much as we can. But yeah, I agree with that. That would make it much easier. Follow down.
Force them all in there,
down. Put your legs down. Right. Little pin there.
Do you reckon you can do it in 4 minutes?
I'll do one side. How
That's
about
a good
that?
idea. That's a good idea.
And then, of course, you've got your skirt as well, which is literally just an oblong. Hem it, big white hem at the top, and thread your elastic round, and hey presto, you've got Rosie Rabbit. God, where does that time go?
I know, today's gone really quickly.
Where on earth does the time go?
Life's just going really quickly at the moment.
Just when I'm starting to enjoy myself and it's time to go.
What, you didn't enjoy yourself till now?
Yeah. Andy and Teddy says time to go. Bye-bye.
Remember watching that in black and white?
A lob a blob.
By the way, in the next hour is going to be the last live hour. If you've got any challenge Debbies, come and let me know. Don't know what I'm going to do. We've got loads of Moda fabric coming up in the next hour, and a lot of it is end of line, so it's not going to be back again.
I think Debbie's brilliant doing challenge Debbies actually, because it's quite pressurised as well, isn't it? Because you put on the spot.
Yeah. Oh, I love it though.
Yeah, it
I
is
love a
nice.
challenge.
Yeah.
As long as I can do it within the hour, that's the only thing. Yeah. So, I'm not going to make a dress.
I'm just going to finish off there. Sorry, Debbie.
That's right.
Just to show you, obviously, when we turn it out. And then you've got your little Rosie Rabbit with all the ears inside. So then all you do is stuff it. You leave a gap at the bottom, stuff it, and then you've got your Rosie Rabbit.
And there she is, all done. I think your kids are going to love it, even more so. I think they're going to have so much fun making it. And of course, you've got the pattern, you've got the book.
Exactly. And
you
once
make
you've got the book,
like.
that's it.
Yeah. Have a whole family of rabbits.
Absolutely.
Do you know when you're back again?
That could happen quite quickly. Yeah.
Do you know when you're back?
23rd.
Oh, okay. Is that a Sunday?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Do you really mean that? Yeah. I love working with Debbie. I have to think up of some more stories. No, it's not really, is it?
No, it's
lovely.
a lot of fun. I've had a really nice show. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Debbie.
Do give all of our love to Gary as well.
I
when you
will
see him
do.
later.
Yeah. So I'm sorry I've made a few little mistakes, but I felt a little bit stressed this morning because of what's been going on. But I've lightened up because he's feeling so much better.
Good.
All right. So. Thank
Well,
you
we'll
very
see you
much.
again soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
A quick reminder of how to order anything that you'd like to from the channel, and I'll see you again in a couple of minutes.
Shopping with us couldn't be easier. If you want to shop online, then you can head to our website, www.sewingstreet.com. It will redirect you to our sister channel Jewellery Makers landing page. Don't worry, you haven't gone to the wrong place. We're simply using their website temporarily while we're building our own web shop. Scroll down past the Watch Live part and you'll see all of the products that you will have seen on air on today's live show. You can also shop our catalogue by clicking a category, clicking a product to view closer, and adding it to your basket. Once you're ready to check out, you will need to create an account, which is absolutely free to do so, but it will mean that you can check out on as many orders as you want throughout the day with still only paying one postage and packaging. If you'd prefer to speak to somebody in our UK-based customer service team, then you can do so via the free telephone line number 0800 001 4433. They will not only help you create an account, but will also help you with any of your online shopping.
Hi, Morag says she's loving the show this morning, but the only problem is she's not getting much sewing done. Neither are we. And it's a job. I know. I'm glad it's Sunday. Nobody's watching. Right, this book has been so very popular. It's actually a really nice book. So there's lots of lovely characters in here. I think there's something for everybody. Look at that. I love the unicorn. I love all of them. But it's not just the soft toys, well, not as in characters. We've got toys such as the Busy Book, you've got a playmat, taggy blankets, ring stackers, bedtime buddies. Have they got rattles in them? They look like rattles, don't they? A snuggle playmat, a peekaboo house hanging. So you put pictures behind there or little mirrors and things like that. Topsy-turvy cat and mouse. Little Red Riding Hood's quite sweet as well. Actually, you could use the, I don't know if the patterns are the same size, you could make a Little Red Riding Hood outfit for the bunny. So who's asked for a code? Sorry? Teddy. One of my challenge Debbies is making a coat for Rosie Rabbit in the next hour, so I've got to do that, haven't I? I love the pig. He's got such silly legs, look. I love him. Hungry little piggy. He's really sweet. Sydney the dog. We've got elephants in here. There's Rosie. Freddie the fish. And then Betty Bird. You can make some lovely mobiles with these, couldn't you? Love the dinosaur as well. What child doesn't love a dinosaur? Little strawberries. So we've got fruit. Catch the fish, that's another game. That's the sleeping bag for Rosie. Then we've got games again. A memory game is a nice idea. and matching numbers. So we've got some quite educational things in here as well. So that's your stitch library, and then all of these patterns are in the back as well. So simple to make projects, but they're really, I love the unicorn, really lovely projects in that one. Now RRP £16.99, your price is only £12.99. Right, so the bundle that Rose is made out of here is this one. So this is Enchanted Garden. So we've got the floral fabric that Rachel used for the skirt, and then we've got the hedgehogs and trees, and the plain fabric, and of course you've got your spots there as well. So 4 fabrics, 4 fat quarters, 2 embroidery skeins, and toy filler, all for £16.99. You've got plenty there, I would say, to make 3 roses. So if you're going to make any of the other toys, you could probably get 3 out of that, I think, depending on how quickly, how plump you're going to stuff her. There we go, but she doesn't actually take very much. So you could have a couple of friends for her as well, couldn't you? So just keeping things tidy. So yes, so she could have some friends. You don't have to have her asleep. You could actually embroider some eyes or put some googly eyes on there, as long as they're child safe. So £16.99 is for the bundle, not including the book. And then this one is the Daisy May fabric. So you could have a Rosie and a Daisy, couldn't you? So with your embroidery skeins as well, and your toy filler, and those are your 4 fat quarters that we're giving you this time, all for £17.99. So anything else you need, we've got embroidery hoops on the website, all kinds of different sizes. We have some Tilda fat quarters as well. These have been nice, wouldn't they? So this is apple butter. And they've got loads in here, look at those. For £31.99, we've got fish colours and dinosaur colours. We've got mermaid colours and rabbit colours and unicorn colours. So there's a solid and a pattern with like the pearl, strings of pearls on for each one of those. So we've got the blues and the reds and the yellows and the teals and the greens. Tilda's been very popular today. If you go to our website, to sewingstreet.com, and just put Tilda in there, and you'll see these fabrics, and you'll also see a new collection. Old Rose. Not supposed to say anything. I think it's only polite to give you the heads up, because when it's sold, so I don't know who's doing the show, but they probably won't have any left by then. Okay, so these are your Bon Voyage collection. So these have actually been designed with travel in mind. And I just think that I shan't take them all out, but you know the Tilda quality, and I think Tilda fabrics are so instantly recognisable, and these particularly, and the colours go really well together. So if you're building up a collection, these are fat quarters, getting 5 of those for your £22.99. I think Rosie could do the dress made out of those. And then let me give you a reminder of our early bird special. So there's £1 saving on this one. Just £6.99 for 4 fat quarters, and again the prints are quite small, so if you are making dolls' clothes, then you're not going to lose the design with smaller projects. 100% cotton, under £2 while we have the stock, or until the end of the day today. Richie's got a question. Hello, Richie. Richie and Derek, morning, the 2 of you. They said they're loving the show. Thank you very much. And they were just thinking about jumping in and getting onto the sewing scene. It's a very cool scene to be on. Both himself and his partner are complete novices. Would the fat quarter book be suitable for us? I think so. Right, let me just have a quick flick through. I don't think there's anything particularly challenging in here. But the nice thing is when you're making toys out of fat quarters, there aren't any zips, there aren't any closures, there aren't any darts, it doesn't have to fit. There's no sizes to take into account, there's no measuring to do. So if your stitch line is a little bit wobbly, does it really matter? No, but it is one of those books where you're going to learn different techniques as well. So, you know, there's a little bit of back gathering, you've got embroidery there as well. We've got patchwork, so there are elements to this that can help you grow your sewing skills if you are brand new. But it's fun as well. I think if you are new to sewing, it's nice to have a quick project, but something that you can enjoy, something that you can finish within a day, so that you know that you've achieved something, and then maybe something that, oh, I didn't notice that one, that you can give as a gift. Hand sewing in this one as well, that's always a useful skill. You'll always need to hand sew, and in fact, because they're not so big, if you don't have a sewing machine, you could hand sew these. I would suggest that you do tiny stitches, because anything that's being stuffed like this is going to put a strain on the seam. So tiny little back stitches I would use if I was going to hand sew anything. But yep, persevere with it. So yes, I do think that is going to be suitable for a beginner. Okay, we've got Challenge Debbie making a coat for Rosie Rabbit in the next hour, and we're going to be doing some bias binding with mitered corners. If you've got any more questions or anything, or someone's asked, stitching in the ditch. I think have we got something to? Well, I can explain. We might not have a ditch to show you, but we have. I can show you on the Quilt As You Go bag. I can't sew it because that's somebody else's bag, but I can show you. Okay, so any more questions, come through on Facebook or on studio@sewingstreet.com, and I shall see you again just after this break.
Would you like to take part in our weekly competition? If you do, then all you have to do is head to the Sewing Street fan page group on Facebook. Post your picture of your make. Myself, Debbie Shaw and John Cole Morgan love looking at all of your makes every week. We pick our favourite and announce the winner every Friday live on the show. Happy sewing and good luck.
Hello everyone, I'm Delphine Brooks. It's so great to be here and part of the Sewing Street family. I'm local, I'm only down the road in Warwickshire. I started sewing many years ago when I was very young, doing lots of art and painting, and eventually I went into textiles, and I really enjoyed doing the two together. I then had a bit of a break. Something you don't know about me maybe is that I spent many years in the Royal Air Force and eventually in the police as well. And then I went full circle and I've come back to my happy place of sewing, and which I really enjoy. My best sewing tip is measure twice and cut once. I have chipped up a couple of times by not measuring properly, and I do always regret it. So now I always measure twice, cut once. Anyway, I really hope to be with you again soon, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you.
Shopping with us couldn't be easier. If you want to shop online, then you can head to our website, www.sewingstreet.com. It will redirect you to our sister channel Jewellery Makers landing page. Don't worry, you haven't gone to the wrong place. We're simply using their website temporarily while we're building our own web shop. Scroll down past the Watch Live part and you'll see all of the products that you will have seen on air on today's live show. You can also shop our catalogue by clicking a category, clicking a product to view closer, and adding it to your basket. Once you're ready to check out, you will need to create an account, which is absolutely free to do so, but it will mean that you can check out on as many orders as you want throughout the day with still only paying one postage and packaging. If you'd prefer to speak to somebody in our UK-based customer service team, then you can do so via the free telephone line number 0800 001 4433. They will not only help you create an account, but will also help you with any of your online shopping. If you'd like to get in touch with us during our live show and send in any messages or any questions, then you can do it on studio@sewingstreet.com. Alternatively, you can message us on our official Facebook page.
If you love sewing, then you need the UK's favourite sewing magazine. Every month, you'll receive exclusive patterns. Follow simple step-by-step guides suitable for all skill levels to make your own stunning clothes, accessories and more, together with inspiring tips and tricks from industry experts. Join in and discover your love for sewing. Try Love Sewing today and get your first 3 issues for just £6.
Hello, my name's Fiona Hesford and I'm founder of Sew Girl. I'm based down in Worthing on the south coast of England, and I've got a range of sewing patterns which I've developed over the last few years, which are projects for loose-fitting clothing, everyday, simple garments, things that I really love to wear myself. And I'm going to be bringing you them to Sewing Street over the next few months. So I look forward to seeing you then. Bye!
Hello, welcome back again. Right, now this show, we've got lots of end of line of Moda fabrics, so I'm going to whiz through them really quickly. But if you wanted to order anything, please do it sooner rather than later, because a lot of these they're not coming back again. So once they're gone, they're literally gone, as they say. So let's have a look at the fabric bundle first of all. This is all of this. So this is Canning Days. And this is the only way that you're going to be able to get hold of this collection now. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You've got 8 fabrics, 9 fabrics with half a metre in each one of those. So you've got 4.5 metres of Moda fabric in total for your £66.99. So they're the full width of the bolt. So you've got 112 centimetres wide, all quilting weight of cotton. Perfect for quilting, but don't just think because it's quilting weight cotton you can only quilt with it. This is perfect for smaller dressmaking projects, for little girls' dresses, for homewares, so cushion covers and things like that. And you've got such a lovely blend of really soft fabrics. Why this is the end of it, I don't know, because I know it's been incredibly popular. I love these ones, love the colours. I love the greys in the background. So we've got greys and peaches in all of those different designs. We've got the lemony colours like buttermilk. We've got larger flowers and smaller flowers and groups of flowers. They're so pretty and absolutely dateless as well. And of course it's Moda, so you're getting the quality of fabric there as well. So that's £66.99 for all 9 pieces. 4.5 metres is what you have there. Right, so then we have Regency Rabbit. I love these fabrics. These are all by the half metre. Okay, so let's have a quick flick through. By the half metre, meaning that if you wanted to buy a full metre, it will come to you in one length. So order 2 pieces, you get a metre, order 4 units, and then you'll get a 2 metre piece, so it all comes in one. But these are just so classic, traditional, beautiful, delicate fabrics that I'm imagining, oh, they look Regency, don't they? That it just screams out at you. Right then. This is the Regency Romance. We have 4 metres left, all right? So if you wanted to order the lot, you order 8 units and you'll get all of them all joined up in one piece. But that's all we have left of this one. That's £7.49. Then we move on. Oh, tiny, tiny little vine leaves. This is Tonal Middleton. And again, this is the last of the stock that we're going to be able to get hold of these. If you wanted to go for more than one, the colours match beautifully. So Tonal Middleton, £7.49 your price there. Aren't they nice colour? I can't wait to get the striped one. They're just beautiful. This is Cord. So more neutral tones here, like biscuit colours, but so much detail in those flower designs there. Right, £7.49 again. We've only got 5.5 metres of that left now. That's going quickly. Moving on again. They look like little grapes. I think they're just buds and flowers and leaves and vines. Oh, that's gone now. That's sold out. You've got to be quick for these. Look at this colour. Gorgeous duck egg blue. And tiny flowers. So much detail in this. But isn't that a really classy colour? It's beautiful. Oh, that's sold out too. Oh gosh. Okay. So this is the Cord again, but in a different print. So you've got a deep red. Oh, that's sold out. That's the one that I love. Oh, I'd have cushion covers. This is Aqua. Oh, a bolster cushion, and that would be nice, wouldn't it? That would look so good. Again, £7.49 is your price for half a metre of that. But that is, I love that one. That's my very favourite. And then we have the rose version as well. So you've got the same print as the cord from earlier. We've only got 2 metres of this one left. So if you want to order that, order 4 units and you get the whole 2 metres. And again, that's £7.49. Those are going quickly. I think you've got ahead of the game on the website. Well done. Do go through to checkout though. Right, this is a bundle. Excuse me. Well, there's 2 fabrics anyway, so kind of a bundle. And we haven't even bundled them together, so they're not a bundle at all, really, are they? It's just a couple of fabrics in a pile, isn't it? This one is Papillon on oyster for £7.49 again. And then, so Papillon Lysander on oyster. And this one, don't they go so well together? Again, at £7.49. This is Papillon Aricia. Details on screen. We've only got 7 metres of that one available now. So tiny little butterflies and flowers on that one. It's got that aqua colour in that. That'll go well with that one. So that's that. And then we have these. So this is a collection. It's not a bundle, it's a collection. These are the Three Sisters fabrics for Moda. Oh, the one I used earlier on. I used this one. That one sold out. Right, so this is like a deep rusty colour. We've got the gorgeous soft greens in there as well. That would make a very posh frock for Rosie, wouldn't it? So that's Romantic Brooms. Romantic Blooms on silver at £7.49. This one has, they're actually buds with like little strawberries, but they're not strawberries. I think it's just the shape of the bud. And it's that teal again, sorry, the aqua. That's such a lovely classy colour. You know, sometimes colours just look expensive. So that's a Memoirs Bouquet on light blue. This one's got a script behind it. Only got 3 metres of this one left. Oh, do you know, if you've bought any of these before and you want more of the same fabric, then please order these as quickly as you can. They're going really, really quickly. These definitely won't be back again. And then this is Indigo Trellis. Again at £7.49 for half a metre. And then, have we got that one? There we go. And then we've got these. What? These are pretty. Right. So not one of these pieces has more than 5 metres. Okay, so it's going to be a bit of a race to get these, isn't it? Okay, so less than 5 metres remaining of every one of these. Only one P&P, remember, if you've already ordered something today, or if you want to come back later on and order anything, you're only going to pay £3.95 all day. This is the traditional floral Moda fabric, again in that lovely, classy, elegant taupe colour on cream. And then these look like little fans, look, little shells almost. Again, in coordinating colours again. So it is quite Art Deco-y, that one, isn't it? This one is traditional floral and cream. Then I like the kind of tone on tone of the natural colours. I just think it really looks sophisticated. This is pearl floral on cream. Very fine detailing on that. It's beautiful fabric. And again, £7.49 for half a metre. They're all 112 centimetres wide. So you're getting quite a large chunk of fabric there. Less than 5 metres remaining though. £7.49. And then this is actually the same print, but in a different colourway. It looks so different, doesn't it? So this is Pearl Melodic on red. Nice colour red as well, isn't it? It's really rich. Look at that. Bit posh. Pearl floral white on red. That's £7.49. Tiny little details on those. This is currant red on white. Oh, it's very similar, but it's got a darker background on that one. So currant red on oyster. And then same print again. Currant red on rose. Again at £7.49. Right, that's all the fabrics, isn't it? If you want a quick recap, have a look online on sewingstreet.com and they're all on there. But please go through to checkout because we don't have very much of these left now. So it's not yours until you go through and pay for it, basically. So that. Oh, and don't forget the early bird as well. That's 5 fat quarters for less than £2 per fat quarter. Well, we have the stock. It's been a busy day today, hasn't it? And these are all in the purple. So we've got the ditzy flowers, the black background. It's like pansies. And then that really deep indigo colour. And again, those are £6.99. So 4 fat quarters for £6.99 saves you £1 off the usual. Pounds mount up though, don't they? You can order more than one of those as well, by the way. In fact, you can with everything, even though we've got some amazing offers. A lot of you are checking out, so more of these fabrics have actually sold out now, so just do be quick. Okay, so I'm going to make a coat for Rosie Rabbit. It's not from the book. Rosie Rabbit is from the book, but I'm going to wing it. But there's no change there then. The book's only £12.99. Okay, so Rosie, what fabric have we got left that I can make a coat for Rosie from? I think we might have quite a lightweight long coat. So maybe we'll go for this one. And we can use the one with the code ending either 67 or 70. That's 5, 65. $62. It'll be the very last one, won't it? 74. Oh, I can use 74. I don't want to use 74. 75. I don't have much choice really, do I? 78. We could have a Regency one. That's 67. And told you be the last one. Oh no, that's 97. So I can use the stripy one then, yeah? Let's make a posh coat. Right, so she could be going to the opera, couldn't she? She hasn't got a posh occasion. She could be going to the ballet. Let's turn that over like so. I do go choosing things that have to be precise because it's got a stripe on it, don't I? Okay, so we will need a pen. And I'm going to draw a rough outline of her body first of all. I'd take her skirt off, but she's rude underneath here. So there's her neck. I'll just do a line where her armhole is, although I'm not going to put a sleeve on this at the moment. And I think it'll need to be quite wide, so let's move that over there. So there's a neck hole. There's her armhole. And that's that. Okay, you can't see that at all, can you? So let's fold that in half so I'm cutting things out symmetrically. I have it a little bit wider. And then let's cut that out. I would normally make a toile, I have to say. I wouldn't normally just cut straight into expensive fabric. we'll have a nice big armhole on there, and then shoulders and neck, and then we'll try that and see how it looks. Okay, a little bit too wide. Needs to be about there. Okay, we can do that. So she's quite easy to fit, I think, this one. So literally drawing around her. Right. So up there, shoulder, neck. Perfect. Oh, that was loud. Made myself jump then. And then because it's a coat, we need to overlap that at the front as well. So let's, there we go. Right. And then, so I'm going to cut 2 pieces out for the front. So following that pattern folded in half like so, but these need to be a little bit wider so they overlap. So we'll just add an inch there. And then around the neck and shoulders. She hasn't really got any shoulders, but the jacket's got to have shoulders, hasn't it? Okay, so that's that, and that's the front of it, like so. So that's going to overlap. And then we'll need some sleeves. So I can't give you any measurements for anything for this, I'm afraid, because I'm literally just winging it, but hopefully I have an idea of the kind of thing that you can do. So Rabbit's in the book, her skirt's in the book, just that this isn't. Right, it's a winging wardrobe. So let's just line this up so it's straight. Right. And then I want the sleeves to go down, because her arms go down like that. So I want them to head in the same direction. So I've actually got 4 layers of fabric there. I'll cut those out all at the same time. And that needs to be at an angle so that the sleeve goes down that way. Then let's have that on the fold. Excuse me. Like so. Move that over a bit. I am wasting a bit of fabric here, but then I'm going to cut around the armhole, add a seam allowance, and then, does that look about right for her arm? That will do. Okay, so that's that. So let's sew the shoulders first of all. Right sides together, just across the shoulders. Might need to trim that down a little bit in a bit. Oops. And snip. Oh, it doesn't snip this one. And then the same with the second shoulder. Yeah, I'll need to make the neckline a little bit bigger. So that goes there. But it's easier to make something bigger than... It's easier to make a neckline bigger than it is to make it smaller, if that makes sense. So we have that. Then we'll put the sleeves in. So they need to go together like that. Have all the Modas gone? Almost sold out of Moda. Right, so let's start from the middle here. A lot of those Moda fabrics have only got 2 meters left, by the way. I'm not going to press seams open and all that kind of thing, because we don't want to spend the whole hour here, do we? So I'm just curving the sleeve around till it fits the hole. Sleeve's a little bit too wide, but that's fine. And I'm starting in the middle and sewing out just so I know that it is in the middle there. So I'll show you that in just a sec. Could have put a little puff in the sleeve. That would have been nice and taken care of the extra fabric that I seem to have. Let's just sew that round there. So I'm making that T shape with the sleeves, like that. So that's one sleeve in. one sleeve in here. So again, just flick that over, and I'm just starting at the centre and sewing that round to the edge. Obviously, this is not the way that you'd make a coat for yourself, but it's same for a rabbit. Same idea, but you'd be a lot more precise, and you'd have notches on your patterns, and you'd be lining everything up. But if you're beginning, it's actually quite a nice learning curve making clothes for toys. I mean, there's no darts or anything like that with toys like this, so they're very simple. All right. They don't complain even when you're fitting them every 5 minutes. Ooh, that got caught up, didn't it? Right. We've jumped out of the take-up lever. So let's just rethread. Or is it that's come out? No, that's in there. My machine does that at home. If I start sewing right on the edge of the fabric, it just doesn't like it. But instead of making a knot or anything, just chucks the thread out of the take-up lever. I don't even know how it does it. It's very clever. Right, let's sew the rest of that in. Where was I going with that? I was going around here with that is what I was doing. Right, so that's the second half. I'll show you in a second. You'll see where I'm going with this in a minute. It's very Joseph Technicolor coat style, I think, this one. Have I got that right? I think so. Okay, so that is like a cross shape now. Have I done it right? Yeah, so we've got that. And then we're going to flip this over right sides together. Now it's starting to look like a coat. And sew down the sleeve. In fact, should we have a fitting? Because I might turn the sleeves up at this point, because it's going to be easier on something like this to do it now rather than when I've finished. Yep, definitely need to make the neck bigger. Yeah, they need to be a lot shorter. A lot shorter. So let's find my scissors. Right, so we'll chop that off there. And we'll chop this off here. Like so. And I'll cut the neck a bit bigger while I'm here as well. I started making doll's clothes. That's how I first got into sewing. Because I never had expensive dolls when I was little. My mum wouldn't buy Barbies and Cindy's and remember Tressie dolls where the hair grew. I never had anything like that. I had a very stiff jointed couple of teenage dolls. I used to make all the clothes for them. I never told you before. When I was younger, there was Action Man, but they brought out Action Girl. What I would have done for Action Girl for Christmas. I really wanted an Action Girl. But Mum wouldn't buy one because they were too expensive. So her train of thought was, well, if she likes Action Girl, she'd like Action Man. Action Man's too expensive. But there's Tommy Gun. So I had this really stiff jointed chap with a camouflage outfit and a gun. I loved him. He was couture. I used to knit for him and I sewed for him. Yeah, I loved Tommy Gun. I would have loved Action Girl even more. Did anybody have an Action Girl? I don't remember whether her eyes moved like Action Man did. That was clever, wasn't it? It was lever at the back. Oh, yes. All right, so I'm just hemming the sleeves because it's easier here than trying to sew around little holes. So just folding that over twice by ½ inch. Oh, are you watching, Teddy? This was Teddy's challenge. He says he's delighted that I'm doing the challenge he suggested. But he lost a bet with himself as to how I was going to do it. Oh, he thought that I would fold the fabric into 4 and cut the back and the body out all in one piece. Oh no, and we're doing it properly, Teddy. He said he's impressed. well, you know, got a reputation to live up to, haven't I? That's another story. Right, so again, I'm just sewing down the sleeves and across the bottom. So I've hemmed that, and then we'll sew sleeves and down there. Remember, these are the Moda fabrics, and we're selling out left, right and centre, so. Right, so back there. None of the Moda fabrics we have now have more than 3 meters left. It's going quick. Right, I've got to do some bias binding in a minute as well. With a quick mitered corner, then an explanation of a stitch in the ditch. I think I've made this rather long as well, but let's see. So, and there's lots of threads to chop off. Oh, that's a skinny sleeve. I'm just going to snip into that underarm bit just so it'll turn a bit better. So, actually, when we sell out of this Moda fabric, Tilda's nice fabric, isn't it, to make dolls' clothes out of? So apparently there's a new collection which is just out now. I wonder where we could find that. I better have a look on the website and see if it's on the website. It's looking good. Oh, look at that, very posh. So just a little bit like a dressing gown, isn't it? So maybe should we make it shorter? So then I would turn that over a couple of times and make it nice there, and then turn that over and make that nice, and then I just do like a rolled hem all the way around the neckline, or I could put a little collar on there. That'd look sweet, wouldn't it? And then you could make it shorter, or we could have a belt, couldn't we? Let me see if I've got something to make a belt out of down here. No, I haven't. I've got some red yarn. That will do for now. Now it's going to look even more like a dressing gown. So, Teddy, how much did you lose to yourself betting? Oh, he's still got Action Girls. Oh, put a picture on Facebook. I can't even remember what she looked like now. Oh, they don't have the evil eye mechanism, apparently. Their eyes are painted on. Oh, glancing to one side in the English version and looking straight ahead in the American version, which is called Miss Dolkin. Oh, okay. Dollykin. A little bit like a dressing gown, but you get the idea. That could be a very nice dressing gown. But whoops, that's how I do it anyway. So you can see they're quite easy to fit to. Anyway, that's that. But remember, you do have the book. You've got lots of different characters in there. You could be making the ballet skirt instead of the... It does look a bit like a dressing gown, a smoking jacket. And she's still asleep. What else were we going to do? We were going to do mitered corners. There is... I've got a book specially. I'll show you anyway. In here, this is my Sewing and Secrets quilting book. This is a book aimed for beginner quilters. It's not a patchwork book. There is a difference between patchwork and quilting. This one concentrates on quilting techniques. There is some patchwork in there as well. But if you are sewing through 3 layers of fabric, you're quilting. You can quilt an egg cosy. It doesn't have to be a big quilt. So there are tips and techniques, again, of hand tying, big stitch quilting, stitch in the ditch quilting, trapunto quilting, stippling. There's lots of different quilting techniques, but then it goes through to 10 projects using those techniques as well. Part of that is marking tools and using templates. A lot of us would do that. Different fabric terminology, waddings. These are all the kind of waddings you'd use to quilt with. So it's all about the quilting, and there must be a bit on binding. There's a few different binding techniques as well. I'll just find it. So there we go. So you've got self-bound binding, which means that your backing fabric actually wraps around the wadding and the top fabric. This is a little bit like I used it for that chicken Quilted to Go project from here. So basically you're going to fold over the corners, fold it over again, and that makes a really nice neat mitered corner if you're doing that way. or you can use single fold bias tape, you can use double fold bias tape. There's a bit on how to join the ends there as well. But the thing is, when you've bound your project, there you go, look. These are 4 different ways of binding using mitered corners. They all look the same. So there's the grown on, we've got sewing from the back coming around to the front and then stitching from the top, and then double fold and single fold bias binding as well. But at the end of the day, they all look the same, which is what they should do. So with a mitered corner, there's a couple of ways of doing that. I'll just show you one. I like to, whether I'm using single fold or double fold bias binding, I like to sew by machine on the first side, then fold it over and sew by hand. Even on a huge quilt I'd do that because I just enjoy it and I think it looks nice. The difference between your double fold and single fold, it's not what you expect actually. So this is just a shop bought bias binding, and that is a single fold. Even though that's folded over twice, that's actually a single fold. So your double fold bias binding is one piece of fabric which is folded over once. So it seems as though it should be the other way around, but that is now a double fold. The reason being, the bit that actually goes around the edge of your quilt, here it's just a single layer of fabric. So although it's folded over twice, when that's right on the edge of your fabric, it's single. When you go for a double fold, that's your one strip of fabric folded in half. When that goes around the edge of your quilt, you've got a double fold there. So this is the technique that most quilters will prefer, the double fold, because it's longer lasting, because you've got 2 layers of fabric, so your quilt isn't going to wear out quite as quickly. But we're going to do a mitered corner. If you're only quilting around a quilt, unless there's any curves on it, your binding doesn't need to be cut on the bias. I don't want that, aren't they? The cutting mat. So if you weren't aware, I do talk to myself a lot, don't I? Oh look, she's left the iron on. I'll switch that off before we start smelling burning. Let me put my rotary cutter. There we go. I'll just make a corner. Bias bindings cut on a 45-degree angle, and when you take a woven fabric and cut it on the bias, it gives it a certain amount of stretch. So let's do that. But if you're not cutting on if you're not putting your fabric around a curve, then you don't need the stretch, so you can just cut straight pieces of binding, which means that it's just binding, not bias binding. Right. Oh, must get a new blade in there. So pretend that's a quilt. I know it's a piece of denim folded in half, but you get the gist. So I need to put my tape around the corner like so. So what you're going to do is to open out your tape. If I was going all the way around, that's really distracting, isn't it? I'd start off folding the end of my binding over, so that when I come back to here, the raw end or the open end of the fabric tucks inside, and then you get a nice neat edge. There are techniques in the book that show you how to join your binding together by leaving this overlapping a certain amount and diagonally sewing. But we're looking at mitered corners here, aren't we? Not joining it together. So line up the edge of your binding with the edge of the fabric, and I'm going to stitch in here. Now while you're there, whatever this seam allowance is, or this area here is, you're going to, that's 1/4 of an inch on this one. That depends on how wide your fabric is. It could be 1/2 inch. But I'm going to stitch along here, and then whatever width that is, I'm going to stop that distance from the end, so that'll be here. So you're left with like a box in the corner. So stop, couple of stitches backwards, take your work out completely, and then you've got a gap at the end there. So then we're going to fold this fabric over so that the edges are again running down the side here, and that makes like a triangle of fabric in the corner. And then right from the edge, we're going to carry on sewing down there. Okay, so let's do it. Okay, so you don't have to mark all of that, obviously, when you're doing that at home. You'll get to gauge where the edge of the fabric is. So stop, 1/4 of an inch, couple of stitches back, take your work out completely, and then we'll fold this around the edge of the fabric. Line it up, make sure everything's nice and square, and then sew straight down that line again. That will do. And obviously you go around all 4 sides. That's knocked somebody out in the cellar. Sorry. It was quick. So we have this. So then when we fold this back, you automatically get, look, I love a mitered corner. You automatically get that really lovely mitre. And then you fold this around the edge of your fabric. When you come to sewing this bit, that's a bit knotty, isn't it? This is the side that I'd normally do by hand. And you need to sew to cover up that line there, just using a little slip stitch. And when you come to the corner here, just arrange that so it goes into a mitre. It wants to. You know, you can't really go wrong with that. But then that means on both sides of your quilt, you've got that really lovely, smart, mitered corner with no pulling and no puckering. It's just really, really neat. So it might seem a little bit time consuming. It gets quicker the more you do it, but it's worth it because it does look really neat when you've done that. So, excuse me. Stitching in a ditch. That's in my book as well. Stitching in the ditch isn't as easy as you think it is. So that's English paper piecing. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, there we go, stitch in the ditch. So basically, stitching in the ditch is sewing over an existing seam. And I'm saying it's not always that easy. It's easier if you use a quilting foot with a guide on it. But basically, if this was going to be stitched in the ditch, you'd sew directly over that stitched line there, directly over the seam to quilt it. So you don't really, it doesn't interfere with any of your prints, or if you've got a very complicated piece of patchwork, you may not want to sew over the top of it, but it will need quilting. That's not. The difficulty is actually getting your stitch line exactly in the ditch, because if you meander even slightly, it really stands out. So stitching in the ditch is basically sewing over a seam like this. You may find it easier to echo quilt, which is sewing along the side of the seam. So if your stitches do meander a little bit, it's not going to stand out anywhere as much as stitches missing when you're stitching in the ditch. So sew 1/4 of an inch around the inside, and you can do as many of those as you like, which is why it's called an echo stitch. But you may find that a little bit easier as a beginner. Don't have to be quite so accurate. Those are signed. That one wasn't signed, was it? I missed one out. Better keep that one. Oh, we've had a message from Pauline. Hi, Pauline. She says, hi, Debbie. She was wondering what needle grippers were for. But she says she's debating putting it in an order yesterday. She says she didn't get them. And when I showed them today, pin heads that break. Absolutely. I was saying earlier on, actually, I use flower head pins a lot. I just like them. I use long, skinny ones, and I like them because I can recognise them if I drop them on the floor. And I do like a nice long pin, no matter what I'm doing, even if I'm dressmaking. Because if you imagine this is my fabric going under the sewing machine, I like to leave the pins sticking out so I can see them, and it means I can sew a little bit quicker as well, because as I'm approaching this, I can literally whip them out really easily. I use them a lot when I'm gluing as well to hold things in place, and that could be a bag handle or some upholstery trim. And the thing is, you'll stick this in, you'll put a bit of glue on there to hold whatever it is in place, and then when you go to pull these out, the glue holds the pin in really securely, because that's what it's for, and these plastic bits break off the ends. You could find that with your glass head pins as well. And it looks like you've got a needle stuck in your work, but they're really stuck, and because there's nothing to grip onto, there's no way you can pull it out. These are, they're grippers, so if you kind of twist them, they open, so they've got a lock piece on here, and they've got ridges in here like little teeth to help grip onto things. So you simply put this around your pin, squish it, that's now locked, and now you can pull them out. Obviously that's not glued in, that was really easy. But equally so, if you're pushing through a lot of layers of fabric, so if you hand quilt, let me get my mat out and just show you how good this grip is. Because you may think that this is going to slip through, but that's really well and truly gripped, and that pin will bend before that's this week's wages gone then. But the pin will bend before, it's not going to slip through. When they're gripped onto something, they're really, really gripped onto something. You need to straighten that out, else they're going to charge me for it. And then they're really easy to release as well. So that's where I use mine most of all for. Thick fabrics, if you're really struggling even with a thimble, not everybody gets on with thimbles, to push a needle through very thick fabrics, and that's going to be a good way to go. And that's going to confuse somebody, isn't it? Pulling things out when you've been gluing, that's perfect. If you do have pins that the heads have come off, great, because you can still grip onto them. But for tuffing stoys, you can tuff stoys that have very, very thin legs, like Tilda dolls, or maybe some of the things in here. Oh, Tilda on the website. I had a vision there. There must be some new fabrics from Tilda on the website. I'm not allowed to talk about that though, because it's not my show. Take very small amounts of toy filler, clip it in there, push it down the legs or the arms, and then release it and let it go. And you're going to deliver tiny amounts of toy filler, which aren't going to bunch up like they can do if you're just shoving a knitting needle down there. So really, really useful little grippers, those ones. And hard wearing, and they bounce. And they're not sharp, they're not scissors, they're grippers. So that's a nice little tool. Oh, the tweets from earlier on have been really popular. So I'm not picking up my emails. I'm just checking on Sewing Street if you've got any more messages on community. And Alan's full of tips this morning. Oh, Morag's finally got her projects done. You've only got the weekend off, Morag. You've got a lot of sewing to do. She's made a laundry bag, face masks, black and cartoon nephews. Oh, that's the design for the nephews. Mine's for work. Looking forward to Monday morning. I'm back again tomorrow. Are you going then, Morag? No, we've still got 10 minutes left. My watch is wrong. We've got 15 minutes. I'm 5 minutes ahead. So I wasn't really late for work this morning at all, was I? I was texting in, so I'm late. The road's closed. Anyhow, we brought you some tweeds earlier on, and they've been really busy. So we've got 3 options for you. So let's take a look first of all at the burgundy. The Manhattan, the sparkly one, the waffle weave. Gorgeous rich colour. Only £8.99 for half a metre, and it's 140 centimetres wide. And just a little bit of subtle sparkle with that one. But I am thinking box-shaped evening jackets. Quite a short length with a bit of trim around the edge. That would look so expensive, wouldn't it? Oh, we've got to wear a brooch. And again, it's only £8.99. It's a nice weight for an unlined jacket if you wanted something a little bit more summer weight. Of course, you could add linings to it if you wanted something a little bit heavier. You can make a nice bag or two with that one as well. There's a lot of fabric there. So that's Manhattan. And then got the Hunters. So this one, very traditional. I've got the right one there. Very traditional herringbone weave, but with a little bit of pink going through it, so it gives it a modern edge. So that's £8.99. Again, it's 140 wide. That I would make a skirt out of that. I think, or a suit. You could do the both, couldn't you? It's by the half metre. That would make a really nice suit. Maybe with a little black T-shirt underneath it, or a cami. That would be nice, wouldn't it? So that's the Hunter's tweed. And then, and I'm still thinking waistcoats with this one, with a nice shiny satin back to them. This is Asheville. Every one of those three, each one of those three has less than 10 metres left of those. So we're selling out of everything today, aren't we? Don't know where we've got 10 minutes, haven't we? Haven't got any more questions, have we? So I've made a code. Oh, we've got a question. Metallic thread. Jean wants to know about metallic thread. She says, oh, hi Debbie, hi Jean. Good to see you too. Good to hear from you too, because I can't see you. Now, with metallic thread, she says, do you need a special needle? Yes, you do. And do you put the metallic thread in the bobbin? Depends what you're doing. If you're going to see the back of your work, then you might want to put the metallic thread in the back, but generally no, your metallic thread goes on the top thread, and maybe use the same colour of thread in a cotton or polyester wrap on the bottom thread. You will need a special needle, because when you think about it, metallic thread has metal in it. Metal expands when it's hot. The speed that your thread's going to go through the eye of the needle means it's going to heat up, and when it heats up, it's going to become brittle and it will snap. And that's really frustrating. So if you have a metallic needle, that'll have a coating probably on the inside of the eye, which is heat resistant and allows the thread to go through freely. Or some metallic needles just have a larger eye, so again, just to allow the fabric to go through without causing too much friction. Another tip is to slow down when you're sewing, because again, it's all about the speed and the heat and the friction, which is going to make that weak. So just metallic thread on the top, take your time with it, yes to special needles, and not necessarily, it's a bit of a waste really to put metallic thread underneath if you're not going to see the back of your work. If you're going to do some free motion embroidery, you may, where you see both sides, you may want to use that in the bottom. But again, take your time with it, just go slowly to allow the thread to go through without becoming brittle. Hope that helped. Sharon's, oh hello Sharon. Am I able to buy the pin dish? Have we got these in stock? Yes, we do. It's our rose-coloured gold pin dish. Do you know what I like about this? Yes, it's a great place to store your pins, but because it's magnetic, when you drop your pins, you only need to do that and you can just pick them all up again. You will find that they stick to both sides though, so just to warn you, if you lost your favourite needle, it may well be underneath there. And it's got a nice weight on the bottom, so it's not going to tip up. But it is metallic, so like we've got metal shelves underneath here, and it hangs on to them. But you could actually hang that on your fridge door, couldn't you? Not that you want a bunch of pins on your fridge door, but if you've got a metal surface, you could actually wall mount that. But that's what I like about it, just the way that you can pick things up. Because even if you don't, if you drop a pin or a needle on your carpet, guess how you're going to find it? But if you can't see it, you can just kind of glide your pin tray over the top and it picks them all up. Oh, they stand on end as well. We have a message on the Facebook page. All right. So is that's on our Facebook page, isn't it? Not the fans ones. I just have to refresh. Where are you? I haven't got it. But she says she's bought the alphabet panels. Oh, jolly good. And she was wondering what other people might have made with them. So she's looking for ideas. Our girls don't want to make bunting. They don't want bunting. They don't want to quilt. So she's trying to think of ways of using it. Oh, stick them on a t-shirt. You could make wall hangings. You could make some a pelmet to go around the top of your window, maybe just random letters. You can make toys with them. I made cubes out of those before now. What else could you do? You could actually put around the bottom of the curtains as well, maybe with the names or just numbers. You could do a wall organiser. You've got numbers on there as well, haven't you? So you can maybe do 9 pockets on a wall organiser and have numbers on those. Ooh. Now, if you're not sure what panel we're talking about, we do still have some on the website. So if you go to sewingstreet.com, and it does say jewellery maker, but that's our home at the moment. You can search alphabets and that'll come up. But if you want to go for the bright one, I can give you the code for that as well. That's LRUU53. So you can just put the code in there. You've got a great price as well. It's only £5.99, and that's what you're going to get. So pop it on your basket. Remember, if you've already bought something, you're not going to pay any extra for your postage. But if you wanted to, if anybody's made any, we've sold hundreds of those. If anybody's actually made anything, maybe a little bit more unusual, maybe not bunting, then do put some pictures on either on the Facebook page or on our Facebook fans page, because that's what it's about, isn't it? It's all about sharing. Hi, Sue. She wants to talk about pinking shears. Is there a way of sharpening pinking shears? The only way I can think of that you can sharpen pinking shears is to cut through either a fine sandpaper or metal foil that you roast your chickens in the oven. If you just cut through those a few times, that is believed to have worked. Otherwise, it's a special. I'd always personally take scissors to be sharpened. If you take pinking shears to be sharpened, it's going to be quite expensive. So they're not very expensive to buy. So if they're really blunt, then I just buy myself a new pair of pinking shears. But they're not something that you use all the time, so they should remain quite sharp. If you do think that they're blunting slightly, try tightening up the screw if you can at the side, because sometimes with wear that can come loose, and that means the blades are coming apart, and then you're not going to get an accurate cut. So try tightening it. But I've never sharpened any, to be honest. It might have lasted a few years. But if you do think they need sharpening, again, just tin foil or fine sandpaper should do the trick for those. Right, we're almost out of time live. Back again tomorrow morning, and coming up tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, of course, we're going to have an early bird, and that's followed by the everyday tote bag. We've got Catherine Wright in the building. At 9 o'clock, we have the flower of the month. So I'm going to start making up some kind of a quilt, I think, because we've got 4 flowers of the month now. So tomorrow morning is roses. At 10 o'clock is the tidy caddy, again with Catherine. And then at 11 o'clock, it's sewing machines. No idea which sewing machines we've got tomorrow. Should have checked, really, shouldn't I? And then there's a repeat at 12 o'clock tomorrow of the long sleeve missus dress that you saw with Rachel this morning. So we do have another hour of sewing here after this show, and it's going to be Delphine from yesterday's show. She's going to be with Hannah. And she's going to be doing a seat cushion with pockets from my Half Yard Kids book. So that'd be nice. I like that one. I was really pleased with that one, if I say so myself. Susan's just messaged. Hi, Susan. And she said she's doing applique pieces with Bondaweb while watching Sewing Street. And we're starting again. Oh, she says, don't try applying Bondaweb to applique pieces while watching Sewing Street. Wow, what's she done? She says it's impossible to remove them from the right side of the fabric. She's put a Bondaweb on the wrong way round, on the wrong side. Any suggestions welcome. I've never, have I done that? Now she's on the Sewing Street fans page. So if you've got any Sewing Street fans, and you've put that on, I suppose it's the same way you get it off your ironing board, wouldn't it, if you got stuck on there? I don't know. Could you put some paper over the top and then reheat it and see if it'll come away onto the paper? Maybe some grease-proof paper, would that work? I don't know. I hope it wasn't a lot. Can we repeat the early bird? Yes, we can. An early bird is a special offer. So if you've not been with us at 8 o'clock in the morning, a lot of the time it's not here because we sell out of these really quickly. An early bird is a special offer that we bring you at 8 o'clock in the morning, and it's a reduced price item or items. So we've taken £1 off this one. It's 4 fat quarters for under £7. That's less than £2 a fat quarter, and it will stay at this price either until we sell out or until the end of the day. So just to let you know, if you're not with us at 8 o'clock in the mornings, this happens at 8 o'clock every single morning. So there'll be another one at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. But if it sells out by this time, obviously, you're not going to get to hear about it. So 4 fat quarters for today's early bird. It's also a way to encourage you to open up a basket, or you need to empty your basket. If you make one purchase with us first thing in the morning, you can sit back and relax and know that if all you wanted to order was a rose-coloured magnetic pin tray, which a lot of you have, you're not going to pay any extra postage. So we don't charge £3.95 postage for every single purchase. We charge one £3.95 postage for the whole of the day. So you can come back and order a 550 sewing machine, you can come back and order a set of needles, and you're not going to pay any extra for the postage. So that's the method in our madness of bringing you an early bird special every day. Right, I'm going to be back again bright and early tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. So I'd love you to be there if you possibly can. Do enjoy the rest of your day. Hopefully it's sunny where you are. I've got no idea. But enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I'll see you at 8 o'clock in the morning. Bye-bye.